Shillington over the weekend. Bianca Andreescu dropped her opener at the WTA Finals morning. She fell in 3 sets to Simona Halep. And the Monday Nighter has the Dolphins and the Steelers at 8:15. A couple of NFL trades today. The deadline is tomorrow. Kenny and Drake going from the Dolphins to the Cardinals. New York Giants have picked up defensive end Leonard Williams from the New York Jets. Sports at 15 and 45 past every hour or anytime. Home of Tim and Sid, now on TV and radio. Sportsnet.
It's time.
6:30 news time, 6:17.
Do me a favor. Can you turn the Napoleon on? Oh, fireplace? No. Barbecue? No. Napoleon furnace. It's so cold, the dog is wearing the cap.
Wait, Napoleon makes furnaces?
Fuck. Where the Gary? Built for Canadian winters and to the same high standards as their barbecues.
So you have a Napoleon for every season?
So 5 different international markets. Give me a second.
The accolades continue for Don Alfonso 1890 Toronto. The esteemed restaurant has been named the second best Italian restaurant in the world by 50 Top Italy.
Hi, I'm Nick DiDonato, president.
I'm gonna have to look up the symbols for orange flavor because I think that's what that is. And for whatever reason, there's no smell on my papers or nothing. What do I got here? What do I got here?
To find out more, visit DonAlfonsoToronto.com.
6:30 news time at 6:18. Well, nice start to the week. We had clear skies today, and tomorrow will be even nicer with temperatures nearing 20 degrees, but the forecast for Halloween's a little scary.
We should be at 11 this time of year, but we are well above that. And if you think today is warm, tomorrow even warmer. Environment Canada meteorologist Peter Kimball says this time last year it was a very different weather story here at home.
On the 27th of October last year, 2018, we had 2 centimeters of snow, then 0.4 centimeters the next day, so 2.5 centimeters roughly from the 27th and 28th 1 year ago.
That's basically what Calgary is getting today, only with more snow, and it's way colder, as in wind chill values near -20.
Very, very warm and pleasant in Toronto. Very much the winter picture in Alberta.
As for Halloween, it's going to be a wet one here, but as in rain, not snow. I'm Irene Precklett.
A group of 11 people who are disqualified from opening a cannabis store in Ontario are not giving up their legal battle. They're seeking leave to appeal a divisional court decision quashing a legal challenge that contested their rejection and disputed the fairness of the lottery process. The group says the 3-judge panel erred in finding the Alcohol and Gaming Commission of Ontario acted reasonably when it found they had not failed to meet a 5-day deadline to submit key documents, even though they did not receive emails notifying them that they've been selected in the lottery system. Here's some conservatives are trying to ramp up.
Signed up to fucking win an email lottery.
As leader, a website Twitter account been set up called Cheer Must Go. The website asks people to sign a petition or make a donation to help in a campaign to force Scheer out of the top job. Conservatives are holding a leadership review at their convention in April. The site says it's been set up by conservative members and supporters. Coming up in 60 seconds, traffic and weather together.
6:80 news time, 6:20.
An instant crossword story.
3% chocolate milk.
Momentous holiday in Trinidad and Tobago. She walked along beaches and enjoyed a guided tour, snapping pics of gorgeous mountains, seashores, and delectable island foods.
The letter T. T, really? What starts with T? We'll have to abbreviate it, like T with a dot. Get out of my way.
So why not treat your future self to a warm, sunny vacation? Our instant savings
Read
event is
this.
on now, helping current you and future you save
Which
up
one of
front.
these is going to make it smaller? Yeah.
Package through redtag.ca.
Oh, this is
Immediately
complicated.
save up to $50. Plus, get 250 air miles bonus miles with your trip. Current
How resin that is.
now and future you can pay monthly with redtag.ca's new payment plan. Certain restrictions apply.
When I light this, I'm gonna start blah 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 and about prejudice and bullshit in the court system and everywhere. But let me do the important part first.
are being hooked up, though one of them is just waiting for the tow to get there. Westbound 407 is jammed up west of Huron, Ontario to west of Mavis. It's right after the Critic River Bridge. That's where it occurred. Westbound on the 401 is busy out of Whitby. That delays Brimley to Kennedy and the Collectors. And West 401 slow across Toronto. West of the 404 on and up to Dixon, alternately expressing Collectors. Delays through Mississauga from west of the 410 expressing Collectors. Heavier in the Collectors though to west of Mavis. And then seeing delays on the westbound 401 from west of the 407 to west of Trafalgar from the 680 Traffic Center by Hawking.
Eastbound 401, just volume now. We had a problem at Islington and the Express clear, so we're just dealing with delays Mississauga Road to Mavis, south of the airport in the Collectors to the southbound 427 ramp. And then it's busy from the 427 to Victoria Park Express and to Kennedy Collectors. Again, from Brock Road off and on to about Thixon.
You can't hear it.
Busy if you're leaving downtown north DVP 404, Bayview Bloor to the east 401 ramp, approaching Steeles to north of 16th. And the westbound Gardner QE is busy from the DVP to west of Strawn, Humber Bridge to Royal York. Again, volume of the QEW 427 to west of Huron, Ontario. Ford Drive to Trafalgar. Walkers to the 403 ramp, and if you're continuing 40 rebound, a minor issue at Plains with the left lane blocked with a stalled vehicle, no delay through there. Call Canadian Choice Windows and Doors today for their best fall specials, and don't forget, the installation's always free. Visit windowscanada.com. That's windowscanada.com.
God, it's re-rolling.
Your next report at
You need somebody to say
6:31.
re-roll the drawing. That's
Forecast
what
with
they're talking
meteorologist Natasha Ramsahai.
Oh, it is a really nice evening here. Clear skies this evening. Overnight, they'll watch for some fog patches that may linger into that morning commute as we wake up to 8 degrees. Should be dry during the day. Squeeze in that patio lunch. We're getting up to 19 degrees and then increasing late afternoon cloud. I think some spotty showers will hold off until the evening hours here in Toronto. Very, very light in nature. Wednesday is overcast. We're cooler, back to seasonal at 11 degrees. Now, most of the day is dry, but we'll bring back the rain come Wednesday night, and that will linger right through a good chunk of Thursday on Halloween. Trick-or-treat time, still some spotty showers. High that day, 10 degrees. It is going to be around 7 for trick-or-treat time, and then Thursday night into Friday, November 1st, watch for some pretty strong winds. Overnight tonight, we're down to a low of 8 degrees. It is 14 degrees now at Pearson.
Coming up at the bottom of the hour, happening now in Hamilton, the public school board, they're expected to vote tonight on whether to form an anti-bullying panel, the recommendation made following the fatal stabbing earlier this month of a 14-year-old student. The latest straight ahead.
680 News Time, 6:23.
The sport utility vehicle, or SUV, is now the most popular vehicle on the road today. This Saturday kicks off SUV month at North Toronto Auction. All makes and sizes of SUVs that fit your lifestyle and budget. The bidding is fast and exciting, with up to 600 vehicles to choose from. Buy with confidence. Every vehicle now comes with a 30-day warranty. Check out NorthTorontoAuction.com. That's NorthTorontoAuction.com.
Oh, shit.
Be the first to know. Breaking news as soon as it happens. 680 News. This portion of the news is brought to you by Harvey Brooker Weight Loss for Men.
Well, I'm going to call you up if I don't like what I hear, eh? Well, I guess we're not listening to that segment. Keep playing them Bati Boy things. Me, I keep turning the volume down. Change the station, brethren. Look, I'm fucking joking. I hate that shit, eh? Keep playing your pop music. Get the fuck out of here. It's hip-hop. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. I forget who said it, but they said, don't call it hip-hop. Call it hip-hop or something. Give it its own name. Don't pretend you're one of us. You're not one of us. Speaking of which. Oh, yeah. More videos. I need to cleanse my eardrums. I collect 200.
bother me. Got a problem, load the weapon, that's how you solve it, that's what it talks to me. And it's how I face on the bother me. Put me in the direction where the bottom be. It's just how I was born to be. Some come to this world with diamonds and pearls, some come to poverty. But no one that teaches right and wrong, how could you say that we wrong? This is all we know, so gotta be right. Maybe it's left, but it's all we got left. Not to love until my last breath. Truly, peace and love to the ones that know me. You fuck the rest, I mean it. And she know, but if I go this door, it might be for the last time. They see the stars from the brightest right before they die. That's why
all I know is the people associated with the people that threaten to hurt me on the other side of the street don't cross the street to this block anymore for some reason. And they were for a few months, and now they don't. I ain't saying up to them.
According to Bloomberg data, Avian at the close on Bay losing 1.9%, $3.51. A winning day for Wall Street with a record closing high for the S&P, fueled by earnings and U.S.-China trade optimism. We learned today from U.S. President Donald Trump that American officials are making progress towards a partial trade deal with the world's second-largest economy. The Dow was higher by 132 points. A 4-day rally for the S&P and NASDAQ. The S&P adding 16 points, NASDAQ gaining 1% or 82 points, and now it's just a few points of its own from its own record closing high. As for Bay Street, the TSX lost 16 points to 16,387, lower for the first time in 3 days. Shares of the parent company of Tim Hortons, Burger King, and Popeyes in focus after releasing its third quarter results. Restaurant Brands International reporting strong.
Every time I say that, it's chunks of blood in my skin.
However, they were not enough to offset a disappointing quarter from Tim Hortons, which weighed on sales. Restaurant Brands International at the close on Bay, losing 3.6% to $86.03. Gold and oil also adding the losses for Bay. Gold losing $9.50, finishing at $1,495. It's lower for the first time in 4 days, and analysts are aware it's back below the $1,500 mark. As for oil, it's saying goodbye to a 4-day rally, sinking 1.5%, closing at $55.81 a barrel. Canadian dollar moved in the opposite direction, higher by 1/100 of a cent, closing at 76.60 cents US. And economists are preparing for the latest interest rate decision from the Bank of Canada later this week. The latest news is on the way.
What the fuck are they going to do to fix this?
I'm Carl Garnash.
Looking for a way to stand out on the road? The best in luxury performance SUVs just got better.
Let me guess. A stolen AMG G63. Really? No, $200,000 truck.
But if I go this door, it might be for the last time. They see the stars from the brightest right before they die. That's why I tell her I love her just in case they think my day to shine. Father, forgive me for I sin, and I'm sorry, I'm probably sin again. Tell me it's blood, it's just on my ass, cause I can't remember where my neck goes. Allegedly in the river, thugs, on drugs, dumb slugs, raised up. Nah, you ain't one to bust. If you want it, let it be ready to kill for it. If you want it, let it be ready to kill for it. All my thugs, on drugs,
dumb slugs, raised up.
Nah, you ain't one of us. If you want it, let it be ready to die for it. If you want it, let it be ready to die for it. Early morning hustler shit. Cocaine in the pot, spiritualistic. Throw some ice in the mix and shock it. That's how you rock that shit. Now here comes the magic trick. Abracadabra, bitch. The soul disappears quick as your baby mama's welfare check. This the life, yeah, fuck you, baby. I brought the face with me just to show you why I ain't playing. All the goons in this motherfucker know what I'm saying. But the streets gon' feel me. Know these cops don't wanna kill me or confine me. But first you gotta find me.
So confine me.
You bitch ass, punk ass cops. Yo,
You suck on my cock.
this is something that you'll never stop. Every bump of these tracks, even after a block, even after my heart stops. I made it teach the next generation to say fuck the cops. Same way I was taught, yeah, same way I was taught. Yeah, fuck the cops, fuck the cops. All my thugs, on drugs, dumb slugs, raised up. Nah, you ain't one to
How did he put fire on paper and it didn't catch fire? That must be some black magic shit.
ready to kill for it. All my thugs, on drugs, dumb slugs, raised up. Nah, you ain't one of us. If you want it, let it be ready to die for it. If you want it, let it be ready to die for it. It's gotta be right. It's left, but it's all we got left.
Let's hear it.
We remain fully committed to fighting this job-killing regressive carbon tax. MPPs are back after 144 days away.
It is Raptors game night as Toronto will tip with the Orlando Magic, and Travis Dermott gets the news he's been waiting for. Sports at 45.
Google's parent company is out with earnings as it considers buying a wearable tech maker. A record closing higher for the S&P, while the Dow rose 132.
What does Google have a parent
the
company?
TSX fell by 16. Business at 56.
I never shit about that till this year.
Today news time, 6:31.
Time for traffic and weather together on the ones brought to you by IA Clarington
You better have a
Investments up in
chicken truck
Chapel
or a
680
fucking mattress
Higher
or
on the
a fridge.
407 and West 407 west of Mavis. Left lane still blocked up. It'll be open any minute. 407 controller in the process of picking up the pylons. Everything else has been cleared away, so this should be fully open very soon. Westbound 407 ETR is busy from Mavis to west of it. It's rapidly improving. Westbound 401 is
The
busy
thing with a
towards
private highway,
Salem.
you could have more accidents per mile as long as you clean them up faster.
In the back, we have an issue on the southbound Weston ramp to the West 401. It's partially blocked because of a crash. After that, West 401 is very heavy. Dixie Express and collectors to west of Mavis. From the 680 Traffic Center, Kyle Hawking.
East 401 volume, 427 to Victoria Park Express and to Kennedy Collectors, and then off and on volume west knee to east to Fixin, but improving through the Durham region. Leaving downtown, the westbound Gardner is busy. DVP to west to Strawn, a little volume over the Humber Bridge over to Park Lawn as well. Then we have volume north, DVP 404, Bayview Bloor to the east 401 ramp, approaching Steeles to north of 16th Avenue. IA Clarington, where they believe in the value of active management to navigate today's complex markets. Visit iaclarington.com. Your next report at 6:41, and with the forecast, meteorologist Natasha Ramza. Hi.
All right, we are looking at 8 degrees overnight tonight with some fog patches developing, so watch for some visibility issues early in the morning. Otherwise, it's going to be dry and even warmer than today. Forecasting 19 degrees with a light southwest breeze. Slight chance for some evening showers here in Toronto. Better chance for afternoon showers north of Highway 7. Overnight tonight, we're down to a low of 8 degrees. It is now 13 degrees at Pearson.
680 news time, 6:32.
Happening now, bullying front and center tonight at a school board meeting in Hamilton. The Hamilton Wentworth District School Board considering whether to set up an anti-bullying panel in the wake of 14-year-old Devin Brachy-Selby's murder earlier this month.
His mother, who witnessed her son get stabbed to death, also there tonight. 680's Casey Taylor joins us live with the latest. Casey.
James, the meeting comes just a few weeks after Devin Brachy-Selby, tormented by bullies, was killed. Hamilton Wentworth District School Board Chair Alex Johnston acknowledging the schools need to step up.
We are doing this because we need to do better. Bullying is complicated. It's extremely serious, and it is rampant in our society.
On the table, a 3-person panel tasked with coming up with an updated anti-bullying framework.
Its mandate will be to consult widely with students, parents and guardians, staff, and our community partners, as well as consult with experts on bullying and mental health.
Board Director of Education Manny Figueredo saying bullying has become more complex in the way schools and the community deals with it. Also needs to evolve. If approved, the panel would report its findings next May. The province already saying it will be eager to see what it comes up with. Reporting live, Casey Taylor, 680 News.
680 News Time, 6:34. 2 pedestrians have been killed in 2 separate crashes on city streets. The most recent happening near St. Clair and Runnymede. 680's Momin Qureshi joins us with more.
2 women were crossing the street mid-block, according to Toronto police, when they were struck by a van as it tried to make a left turn onto St. Clair, just west of Runnymede. Unfortunately, an 82-year-old woman dying of her injuries, while a woman in her 60s is in serious condition. Muhammad tells me he sees people jaywalking across this part of the street all the time.
Lots of people, they just want to cross to the other side and they don't go with the traffic light is to cross the street, just cross it, not walking all the way to the traffic light, just crossing the street from the middle way.
So that's something you see all the time?
Oh yeah, it's happened a lot.
Just a few hours earlier, a man in his 70s was struck and killed by a vehicle at Don Mills in Eglinton on St. Clair near Runnymede.
But that's a poor neighborhood full of black people, so we're not going to talk about it.
It was a different tone at Queen's Park today as the legislature resumed following its longest break in nearly 25 years. 680's Richard Southern is there.
Energy Minister Greg Rick
St. Clair used to be the ghetto, I know.
continue to force gas stations across the province to display their anti-carbon tax sticker, even though the federal Liberals were re-elected.
This is about educating people that this is something that we want to let the consumer of Ontario know where that cost is coming from.
Green Party leader Mike Schreiner, who wastes taxpayer dollars on stickers that don't stick. They don't even tell the full story.
Inside the legislature, it was the first question period in 144 days.
I want to welcome back the Premier back to the office. It's great to see him back here at work.
Ward was asked about education costs.
50% of our grade 6 students are failing math, Mr. Speaker, and 1/3 of those teachers that are teaching that math course also failed that math test.
I have to say, I did notice a much different tone in the legislature, much friendlier. Only one.
They don't want to hear that. They just they want to go get on strike for more money. They don't know what to do with the money. They can't count.
I'm Richard Southern.
A high-angle rescue for Toronto firefighters saving a construction worker who became trapped 8 stories up at a Midtown construction site this morning. 680's Mark Douglas joins us from the scene near Broadway and Redpath.
Toronto fire crews to the rescue of a man trapped in a high-rise construction site. Fire Chief Matthew Pegg.
Trapped between the construction elevator on the outside of the building and the wall of the building, 8 stories up.
Toronto Fire got the call around 10:15 this morning, bringing crews out to a high-rise construction site here on Broadway Avenue west of Yonge. The worker survived, but Pegg says he suffered significant injuries. This was a high-angle rescue. The fire truck ladder up in the air at what I would say was at least an 80-degree angle. A rescue team got the worker out, got him loaded into a safety basket and down to the ground. Now it's up to the Ministry of Labor to figure out exactly how the worker became stuck between the wall and the elevator in the first place. Near Yonge and Eglinton, I'm Mark Douglas.
York police made an arrest in what they're calling a hate-motivated assault in Newmarket. Officers called to a restaurant parking lot on Yonge Street, just north of Davis Drive, on Sunday afternoon. They say a 33-year-old man yelled a homophobic slur at another man who was sitting in a vehicle with a rainbow logo on it. The victim confronted the suspect in the restaurant's drive-thru and was assaulted during the altercation. Suspect arrested a short time later at his home in East Gwillimbury.
Young people staged a demonstration on the floor of House of Commons this morning to call on the new minority parliament to take action to address the climate crisis.
Calling for a Green New Deal, the demonstrators staged their sit-in on the floor of the House of Commons while on a parliamentary tour. It lasted no more than 20 minutes before the protesters were arrested, but after being released, they continued the demonstration outside. Simran is one of those calling for Canada to immediately shift away from fossil fuels towards a green economy, and tells me why she felt compelled to take part in this kind of action.
When we are in a time of crisis, acts of nonviolent civil disobedience are absolutely necessary, and we really need our political leaders to heed our calls as the young generation that's going to inherit their mistakes.
While the new parliament isn't sitting yet, it seems this message is being heard. Both the NDP leader and the Office of the Environment Minister say they're committed to ambitious action on climate change. Cormac McSweeney, Parliament Hill.
680 News Time, 6:38. It was warmer today than normal here in Toronto, and it's a winter wonderland. Meanwhile, in Calgary, here's 680's Irene Precklett.
It's feeling more like the middle of September, with temperatures today and tomorrow well above the normal high of 11. Environment Canada meteorologist Peter Kimball says just wait until tomorrow.
And even warmer tomorrow with a high of 18 wind out of the south tomorrow. So very lovely today and tomorrow.
He says while we bask in the warmth and sun, in Calgary today, snow and wind chills near -20 at times.
They're certainly in the depths of cold weather right now.
The warm and dry weather is not going to last here, with rain and cooler temperatures just in time for Halloween. I'm Irene Precklett. Coming up at 6:41, traffic and weather together on the ones, including a crash on the westbound 401 approaching Mavis, blocking the left lane.
680 News Time, 6:39.
I am the greatest pothole to ever rule this country road. Your attempts to fix me have been futile. This season I'm bigger, badder, and I will ruin your scenic fall adventure. Every vehicle will bow before me. Even you, Subaru, with your fancy standard symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive. Even you will not evade this pothole. Down there, Subaru, with your high and mighty ground clearance. Just you wait. I will get deeper.
Adventure comes standard at your local Subaru dealer. Hurry in for lease and finance rates from 0.5%.
City Streets northbound Dufferin is down to 1 lane at the 401 because of construction. It's heavy from north of Lawrence, and eastbound St. Clair is backed up approaching Warden due to single-lane construction. Now, the 680 News gas price update. Empro predicts the price of gas will not change at midnight, holding at $1.18.9 a liter.
680 News Time, 6:40.
You deserve business-grade internet, so Rogers offers LTE wireless backup, a feature of Rogers Business Internet Pro Gigabit. Now $119.99 a month on a 3-year term. Call 1-866-ROGERS-6.
You can make more.
You won't find me perfecting my golf swing this Halloween season, but you may find me taking a hayride in a pumpkin patch with my wife and kids. My name is Aaron Waxman, and just like you, I understand what's really important: family, health, in finances. So when your long-term disability claim is denied, call me at 416-661-4878. And before you call, you should always remember that there are no bad questions. 416-661-4878 or on your cell phone at pound LTD.
You deserve business-grade internet, so Rogers offers LTE wireless backup, a feature of Rogers Business Internet Pro Gigabit. Now $119.99 a month on a 3-year term. Call 1-866-ROGERS-6.
Not the time to be typing wrong. You know it's me doing it this time.
6 a.m. this time, 6:41.
Time for traffic and weather together on the one.
Stevens and Step. What the fuck is Step Feed? What the?
680 Jordan Kerr.
Well, there are two issues impacting the westbound 401. The first one, southbound Weston ramp to the west 401, is partially blocked because of a crash cleanup. It's in the middle of the delay west on the 401 across Toronto from the 404, alternately expressing collectors to Dixon. And then westbound 401 in Mississauga approaching Mavis. The left lane's blocked for the crash. It's jammed approaching Dixie, both expressing collectors to where they merge to approaching Mavis. Very, very, very heavy through here. Westbound on the 407 west of Mavis in the left lane. A crash cleanup there. That should be out here really soon. There's no delay through here at all. From the 680 traffic center, Kyle Hawking.
Problems if you're traveling the westbound or I guess Fort Erie bound QEW at Plains. So as you head through Hamilton, the left lane was blocked. Looks like everything's been cleared off to the shoulder and there's no delay in this area. And if you're heading for this area on the westbound Gardner QE, it's busy from the DVP to west to Strawn. And then beyond that, not bad. Volume delays on the westbound QEW pickup at the 427 to west of Huron, Ontario. And again, from the Ford plant to Trafalgar. You'll find it busy if you're traveling north on the Don Valley 404. Still volume bluer to north of Lawrence and Steeles to north of 16th Avenue. 400 is still busy north of Highway 7 to about Major Mackenzie. 427 north, busy north of the 409 to Finch. And on the northbound 410, delays from Steeles to north of Queen. Experience the iconic performance and head-turning design of the Range Rover Sport or the Range Rover Velar now. Visit your Land Rover authorized retailer for offers on remaining 2019 models. Your next report at 6:51, and with the forecast, meteorologist Natasha Ramsahai.
And it's going to be a clear night tonight. Watch for some fog patches as you head out the door in the morning. So I would recommend 5-10 extra minutes as you start off the day at 8 degrees. It is going to stay dry through the day, 19 degrees. Now, there is a slight chance of late afternoon showers north GTA, especially north of Steeles or Highway 7. And then we'll get some spotty showers here tomorrow evening. Wednesday, overcast conditions. I do want you to walk with the umbrella. Late afternoon and evening showers will return, a little bit more persistent. And Wednesday's high back to seasonal at 11 degrees. Overnight tonight, we're down to a low of 8 degrees. It is now 13 degrees at Pearson.
6 a.m. news time, 6:43.
As multiple wildfires continue to rage in California, one fire in LA now affecting Hollywood. ABC's Jason Nathanson reports.
The big Hollywood premiere for the latest Terminator movie was supposed to take place Monday night, but that's been canceled. Paramount and Skydance Media deciding instead to take all of the food that was going to be served at the after party and donating it to the American Red Cross, which is helping people who had to evacuate. The fire isn't really close to the TCL Chinese Theater in Hollywood where the premiere was going to be held, but air quality all over the area is poor and traffic is a nightmare.
In Northern California, firefighters say they have made an aggressive effort to attack a fire burning in Sonoma County's wine country. 680 News Time, 6:44.
We're two men and a truck. So, you're moving to a new home, and all that's left to do is to call a mover you know you can trust. Well, naturally, you think two men and a truck, since you know they have lots of men and lots of trucks. They'll wrap, pack, and move everything you want. With a 96% referral rating and the professionalism you can trust, the choice is simple. For a free in-home estimate, call today. We're two men and a truck. Two men and a truck, the movers who care.
For my final trick, I'm making every 2019 CRV LX disappear. Lease one from just $82 weekly at 2.99% and zero down. Plus, get a $750 Honda bonus.
Wait. Can you make it appear in my driveway?
Of course I can. Just go to your local Honda dealership, lease one, and drive it home.
That's not...
That's the power of the Honda Model Clear Out. Includes trade-in fees for 60 months, taxes extra OAC. See HondaOntario.com.
Man, I don't know where to put the apostrophes.
680 News.
Clear and 13 degrees. Good evening from the 680 News Broadcast Center in downtown Toronto. I'm Laura Carney.
And I'm James Monroe. Here's what's making news right now.
The Hamilton Wentworth District School Board is considering tonight whether to set up an anti-bullying panel. It's in the wake of the murder of 14-year-old Devin Brachy-Selby earlier this month. And a deadly day on city streets. 2 pedestrians hit and killed in 2 separate crashes. An 82-year-old woman killed when she was hit near St. Clair and Runnymede. And before that, a man in his 70s hit and killed at Don Mills in Eglinton.
Monday markets, TSX down 16. The Dow rose 132. Canadian dollar flat 76.60 cents US.
Time now for 680 Sports. Sports brought to you by Northwood Mortgage from Sportsnet 590 The Fan. Here's Alex Sixero.
Hey, Laura, it is the first time this season that the Raptors have their full complement of players available. Patrick McCaw is in line to make his season debut tonight when the Raptors host the Magic at 7:30. That'll be on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and Sportsnet. Raptors are beginning their 25th year celebrations tonight. They'll wear the purple old jerseys, and the court got a makeover as well. The old Raptor logo right in the middle. Both pregame shows at the top of the hour. Zach Hyman hasn't been cleared, but Travis Dermott has. The Leaf defenseman makes his season debut against the Capitals tomorrow. John Tavares shot some pucks for the first time since breaking his finger and says he is coming along nicely. Meanwhile, forward Brandon Perlini, who asked for a trade, has been traded from Chicago to Detroit in exchange for minor league defenseman Alec Regula. Big change in New York. Yankees moving on from pitching coach Larry Rothschild. Game 6 of the World Series goes tomorrow. Simona Halep beat Bianca Andreescu this morning at the WTA Finals, and the Monday Nighter, it's 0-6 Miami against 2-4 Pittsburgh at 8:15. Sports at 15 and 45 past every hour, or anytime on the home of Tim and Sid, now on radio and TV, Sportsnet 590 The Fan.
680 News Time, 647.
License 10349. It's a slap in the face. Your bank refused your mortgage. Don't get mad. Call Northwood Mortgage. Northwood Mortgage takes a closer look at your financial picture. Property equity, past record, the promise of performance, and more. Northwood Mortgage does everything they can to approve the mortgage you need. That's their business. Northwood Mortgage. Visit NorthwoodMortgage.com.
We're working harder for you.
Oh, honey, isn't it just so nice to get into bed?
What? You talked to Ned?
Seriously, Gary, take out the Bluetooth earphones.
Oh, honey, I love you too.
Technology before bed, not always a good thing. Unless it's Sealy Mattress temperature regulating technology. Get it for an amazing price during the Sealy upgrade sale, ending soon at Sleep Country. Plus, get a hot buy Sealy Optimum Pillow Top Queen mattress with temperature control, just $489. Our sleep experts will match you to your best sleep. So hurry, it all ends tomorrow. Sleep Country, all for sleep.
680 News Time, 648.
3 people suspected of being behind a series of distraction thefts across the GTA have been arrested by Durham police and now face a total of 114 fraud-related charges. Police started digging deeper after several cases were reported in Durham region during the months of August and September. The first was in early August at a Walmart on Kingston Road in Ajax, where a woman approached the victim and told her she had dropped a $20 bill on the ground. While the victim was distracted, a second suspect took a credit card from her purse. The victim realized later that her credit card was gone and numerous withdrawals were made using it. Smokers will soon see their cigarette packs stripped of logos and distinctive designs as federal rules make brown the default color for tobacco brands next week.
Plain packaged cigarettes have started popping up on shelves. That's as the tobacco industry prepares for Health Canada's regulations that take effect on the 9th of next month. The new rules say all packaging must feature the same brown base color, basic gray text, and minimalist layout. Health experts and advocates say the policy positions Canada at the forefront of a global push to curb the appeal of cigarette brands, particularly among youth, and eliminate packages as pocket-sized promotions for big tobacco.
You banned Virginia Blend in Canada? Shouldn't we be only having Canadian Blend in Canada?
Why attack on a 96-year-old woman?
Every single pack I show you is Canadian Blend.
Was beaten and choked unconscious
every single pack. Those are all the videos. I must have shown you 50 different brands.
Investigators allege the suspect is someone the woman knew but would not elaborate. Police say they're looking for a 26-year-old man and are urging him to find a lawyer and turn himself in. Coming up in 60 seconds, traffic in your extended forecast, 680 News Time, 6:15.
Find a car today, a much better way. Visit OntarioCars.ca. You'll have a smile that'll last a while, 'cause you're gonna find a car that'll fit your style. OntarioCars.ca is for you, with trusted sellers and great reviews. It's the easy way to find yours and save at Ontario Cars today. That's OntarioCars.ca.
Rexall can help you realize getting a flu shot is a really good idea.
Oh, our vacation down to Florida can't come soon enough. I'm going to relax on all the beaches. I'm going to do all the shopping. I'm going to reply to none of the emails. I can't get sick right now.
Oh, yeah. Wait a minute. I'm going to do undriving us and the kids in the minivan. I can't get sick right now.
You probably have a reason you can't get sick right now. Help protect yourself and your loved ones from the flu. Get your flu shot at Rexall. Visit Rexall.ca for details.
680 News Time, 6:51. Time for traffic and weather together on the ones brought to you by City TV up in Shopper 680. Jordan Kerr.
An update on issues on the southbound Weston ramp to the West 401 is now completely blocked, all because of the crash. The West 401 is slow from the 404 to Dixon, alternately expressing collectors. And then the second issue on the West 401 approaching Mavis, left lane's blocked. It's backed up starting south of the airport collectors, Dixie Express. West 407, west of Mavis, problems have completely cleared. No delay. From the 680 Traffic Center, Kyle Hawking.
If you're on your way out of downtown in the westbound Gardner and QEW, slow from the DVP to about the X grounds, and then 427 to west of Huron, Ontario, and just a minor delay by the Ford plant. A volume on the eastbound QE Gardner heading into downtown, south down to Dixie, and still quite slow, 427 all the way to Cherry as you head into the long-term construction zone in the Gardner. We've got north DVP volume, north DVP 404, in fact, Bloor to north of Lawrence, Steeles to north of 16th Avenue, southbound 404 down Valley. That's also heavy from approaching Shepherd to south of Lawrence. And if you're traveling the eastbound 401, we've got just volume left from the 427 to Victoria Park Express and to Kennedy Collectors. Also busy Salem to Brock Street. Tuesday on BT, Nicole is live in LA with a Dancing with the Stars recap, plus a huge announcement for Celine Dion fans. BT weekdays at 5:30 only on City TV. Your next report at 7:01, and with the extended forecast, meteorologist Natasha Ramsahai.
All right, it's going to be another warm one tomorrow. In fact, warmer than today, 19 degrees, the daytime high. Got to watch for some morning fog patches as we start off at 8 degrees, increasing cloud. And if you live north of about Steeles, possibly even Highway 7, there could be some late afternoon showers. We have a chance for some evening showers tomorrow here in the city. Wednesday, overcast at 11. We'll be in for some nighttime rain, and that's going to linger through much of Halloween on Thursday. The first 2/3 of the day, it's rain. As we head towards trick-or-treat time, we'll still have some spotty showers. The high that day, 10 degrees. Trick-or-treat temperature will be right around 7 degrees. Overnight tonight, we're down to a low of 8 degrees. It is now 13 degrees at Pearson.
This extended forecast is brought to you by Cold Drops. One drop for temporary relief of sore throat and nasal congestion.
Cold Drops.
Cold Drops are available at Metro pharmacies near you. This product may not be right for you. Always read and follow the label.
Coming up at 7 o'clock, our Casey Taylor will join us live with the latest from the Hamilton Wentworth District School Board discussing today an anti-bullying panel following the murder of a 14-year-old student earlier this month.
680 News Time, 6:54.
Hello, Horsey.
The Braystone Paddocks.
Hello, bees.
The Braystone Apiary.
Hello, skaters.
The Braystone Skating Pond.
Hello, trees.
The Braystone Forest.
Good night, stars.
And Starfall Observatory. With farmhouse architecture and remarkable amenities like a sugar shack, farm, acres of woods and trails, and nights full of stars. Braystone, the country estate rethought. Visit BRAEstone.ca.
Hi, my name is Mandy Nicholson, co-founder of You're Enough, and I'm the 680 News Community Hero for October. So I am the co-founder of You're Enough along with Kelsey Sick, and we started this as a running group back in 2017, and we're starting conversations about the importance of talking openly and honestly about mental health and other stigmatized states.
The 680 News Community Hero. Nominate your hero now at 680news.com/contests.
680 News Time, 6:54. Just because the sun is setting sooner doesn't mean you should stay sitting inside. Our Colin Robertson is taking a look at what's happening tonight in the GTA.
Now, according to legend, Slytherin had built a hidden chamber in this castle known as the Chamber of Secrets.
Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets is playing at the Rec Room. Film rolls at 7. Bing Bot Trivia is happening at Batch.
Questions start at 7.
What's the deal with grape nuts? No grapes, no nuts.
And the Office Pub is hosting Hard Day Comedy.
I don't get no respect.
Last get going at 8:30. Colin Robertson, 680 News.
Coming up in 60 seconds, we'll check in with Carl Garnish at the 680 Business Center.
680 News time, 6:55.
The biggest chair and desk event of the year is back at Staples. It's an event you can't afford to miss. Discover perfect comfort and superior design at savings of up to 50% on a wide selection of brand name chairs and desks. Plus, save $100 on select chairs by Serta, Lazy Boy, and Tempur-Pedic. The biggest chair and desk event of the year is on now at all Staples stores and staples.ca. Staples. Work, learn, grow. You text it, DM it, say it 5 times a week. Let's grab a drink soon, ? It should be more like, let's grab a drink soon, ! Because not everyone who says it, does it. If you miss your crew, why wait for them to make plans? Hit someone up you said it to 3 weeks ago. You'll laugh, catch up, remember the good times. So will they. When's the last time you made a drink soon happen? JP Weisers. Hold it high. Please enjoy responsibly.
680 News time, 6:56.
Time now for the business report. Here's Carl Garnish.
Laura, big names are with earnings after the closing bell. U.S. shares of Google parent Alphabet falling more than 2% in the extended session as the tech giant's third quarter earnings missed estimates. And before results, Alphabet did hit an all-time high of $1,299.24. Kim Parley, vice president at TD Wealth, says it comes after we learned about a possible purchase by the company.
We also had the news today that Alphabet has made an offer to buy Fitbit, which certainly sent Fitbit shares soaring. So obviously their expansion continues.
And the close Fitbit was higher by 30.8% to $5.64. Shares of Beyond Meat losing more than 6% after hours, despite reporting its first quarterly profit in the company's history. The alternative meat maker also increasing its annual revenue forecast for the second consecutive quarter. A strong third quarter for WestJet Airlines, saying it earned $119.4 million. That's the second highest level in the airline's history. But WestJet says it won't hold a conference call ahead of its planned $3.5 billion acquisition by Onyx Corp. WestJet at the close on Bay down 1 cent, $30.60. Earnings in U.S.-China trade optimism gave a boost to Wall Street today with the S&P locking in a record closing high. Dow rose 132 points, a 4-day rally for the S&P and NASDAQ. S&P adding 16 points, while the NASDAQ saw a gain of 1% or 82 points. As for the TSX, it was lower for the first time in 3 days, dropping 16 points to 16,387. Teamsters Canada Rail Conference is warning picket lines could go up in the coming weeks as it announced that 3,000 members voted 99.2% in favor of a strike back in September. Now, a CN Rail spokesperson says the company is committed to working with the TCRC and is optimistic an agreement will be reached. CN at the close on Bay up 0.9% to $117.36. Oil ending a 4-day rally, sinking 1.5%, closing at $55.81 a barrel. Canadian dollar moved in the opposite direction, higher by 1/100%, closing at 76.60 cents U.S. And falling below the $1,500 mark again, it's now time for the Express Gold Refining XAU.ca gold price update. It lost $9.50, finishing at $1,495. Gold lower for the first time in 4 days. At the Business Center, I'm Carl Garnish.
Last 4 days.
Are you self-employed? Unlike a lot of banks, Prudent Financial has lent money to self-employed for decades, along with people on disability, after bankruptcy, proposed
people on disability. You don't have nothing for us, man. All right, the music. This is why you got to be careful to fucking not hold the phone when you're cussing at it. You need it to play the music after. Motherfucker, fuck you, eh? I catch people. I let them. You give them enough rope, they'll hang themselves. Well, that's not gonna. So fuck it. Ta-da! Oh, I think that one dried out a bit more. No, that can still open. Okay. I wonder if I can roll this before the song finishes. Put holes in a red sweater. They put it on your head, eh? You know what I'm talking about, it don't concern me. What happened to your other side, homeboy? You only got one. What happened to the other one? You're supposed to have two, one in each end. You got two hands. You should have two. Why the white girl walking with you so scared to fucking stand next to you? What the fuck is that about? Pound, euros, even pesos. Money in, money out, drug money flows. Never had to get very far. One time looking for me and throw away the keys. You get away in a stolen car. There's a fucking chunk of resin, eh? Like fucking breaking up fucking compressed sets, eh? Well, I didn't do it. Took me more than 3 minutes. Don't give a fuck about what you've been thinking. Put a hole in you just as good as a cannon. It'll make it harder for them to follow the scent. That's why we live this strife. Caught up in the ripples, me my brothers grew up pissed off and angry like a leader of starving people. They fed this greed, and now we hit the streets and breed. I wonder if they really ready for me. I keep them steady, ready, kids they tease, they told them talking to me. The youngest child that they ever released from juvie. My life is like a horror movie with too many sequels. Never really got along with other people. My foster parents thought that I was evil, cause they caught me rolling Bibles in a church steeple. I wonder if God listen, and if he does he hear me screaming at the sky every time I buzz? My Muhammad died, dog, forever selling drugs. I find myself forever selling drugs. And I'm just a modern day pirate, disciple with Cyrus, sworn to silence. Modern day pirate. Even if they lock me up and never release me again. Segregation's not that bad, eh? You get to meditate a lot. You literally have nothing but yourself. That will make some people go crazy. I know, they put me in the wrong cell for a second and I saw what he did to the place. Everything will be okay. As I circle to your day, on the hustle night and day, till I shake your hand and see your face. I'ma be this way, life ain't always what it's cracked out to be. If some happiness only lasts as long as the bitch, but I don't worry myself with the little things. I'm after a gold chain and the pinky ring. I hope that God give me wings.
picking up to cure my sins. But when it is my time to ascend, and if not, then it's in the depths of hell where the story shall end. It's in the depths of hell where my story shall end.
Fuck, sticky. Oh shit.
High angle, he means it. The fire truck ladder was 8 stories high at what looked to be at least an 80-degree incline. The rescue team got the man into a safety basket down to the ground. Paramedics took him to hospital with what Chief Pegg describes as significant injuries. Near Yonge and Eglinton,
he's almost 80. Just say almost 90.
Sports the news brought to you by Alexanian Carpet and Flooring. MPP's back at work after the longest break, nearly 25 years. Conservatives promising a change in tone as the legislature returns. Here's 6 Cities' Richard Southern.
I want to welcome back the Premier back to the office and to have the opportunity to finally ask him some questions.
Ford was eager to talk up perhaps his only political victory over the summer months. Transit.
The leader of the opposition was wondering what we were doing for the last few months.
I'm wondering
I'll tell you
too.
what we've been doing in the last few months. We secured a historic transit plan that we put forward called the Ontario Line, Mr. Speaker.
I have to say, I didn't notice a much
It's
friendlier,
fucking in
much nicer
Toronto,
zone
you
in the
fucking
legislature
idiot. Why
today,
would you
gone
call
with
it
constant standing
You're gonna
ovations and
confuse
applause
every
by the
goddamn
government.
tourist.
Green Party leader Mike Schreiner said he picked up on it.
It seems like the trained SEALs were locked in the cage when the Premier was put in the Witness Protection Program. Let's hope they stay in the cage, and let's hope this new tone continues.
Also of note, Energy Minister Greg Rickford says the government will continue to force gas stations to display their anti-carbon tax stickers. At Queen's Park, I'm Richard Southern.
Travelers will likely soon be able to drink around the clock at Pearson Airport bars.
Really?
The proposed loosened alcohol restrictions are among dozens of
What's
measures
that,
in a bill tabled in the legislature today aimed at easing regulations in the province. Under the proposed law, bars and restaurants that are located after security in certain commercial airports would be allowed to serve alcohol all day. They are currently restricted to between 9 a.m. and 2 a.m. The bill would also allow dog owners to bring their furry friends onto restaurant patios and into breweries where only drinks and low-risk pre-packaged foods are served.
A group of young protesters occupying the floor of the House of Commons today, calling for action on climate change.
Did I just hear common sense? Holy fuck.
24 young people with the group Our Time want a tour of Parliament when they arrived on the floor of the House of Commons and staged a sit-in. It lasted no more than 20 minutes as the group chanted and read statements before being dragged away and arrested. Simran was one of the demonstrators and tells me they're delivering mandate letters to all 338 MPs demanding a Green New Deal.
Pushing this new government to use their 4 years in Parliament responsibly. So that means we don't want any new fossil fuel projects, we don't want pipelines.
The new minority parliament is not sitting at the moment, but the message is being heard. NDP leader Jagmeet Singh tweeted he will fight for a Green New Deal, while a spokesperson for the federal environment minister says they recognize more needs to be done and ambitious climate action is a priority for the Trudeau government. Cormac McSweeney, Parliament Hill.
Ford is making cuts to its assembly plant in Oakville. 6 City business editor Stuart McGinn with the details.
The layoffs will affect about 450 workers in the Oakville assembly plant who will lose their jobs early next year. An internal email was shared amongst workers at the start of the day. The news comes as Ford plans to end the production on the Ford Flex, which will officially stop being made towards the end of November. Ford selling just shy of 2,500 Flex crossovers through September. Those sales numbers trailed all other Ford light trucks in their lineup. This round of layoffs is also the second in less than a year. After cuts announced in July, the company blamed on slowing production and consumer demand. At the Business Center, I'm Stuart McGinn.
Coming up in 30 seconds, we'll check gas prices.
680 News Time, 7:09.
680 News, Toronto.
There are many reasons to shop at Alexanian. Here's reason number 4, selection. Alexanian is...
I'm going to tell us the gas price. Patios. So you can't smoke on a patio if the umbrellas are touching or if there's an overhang more than 45 centimeters. You can't smoke within 9 meters of the entrance to any public building. But the patio opens onto the restaurant. I don't understand why they're allowed to do that, but I get yelled at for standing within 30 feet of a building with a cigarette. Like, I don't understand that. You can't ride a bicycle in a park. That's a real bylaw. I don't think anybody knows that. I don't know why they passed it. I found out like years after it got passed. You're not supposed to be. I'm not sure if you're not supposed to smoke. I don't know where the boundary of a playground is. You can't smoke within 9 meters of a playground. Fine, I don't want to smoke near. I don't smoke near playgrounds, but unless it's like 4 in the fucking morning, and the kids out at that hour are handing me cigarettes and drugs. But with the phone, I'm gonna say fuck you to the email program. So there's a legal clinic for black people I didn't know existed that apparently just got its funding cut, and then somehow I don't understand. Yeah, let's do that right now. Let's look that shit up right now.
I'm power shipping with money popping my collar on that hood shit. Fresh out of jail, straight to the dollars. Got a good connect, he never ace. Over on the Friday, hit the block and watch the money rise. Bread in the oven, pockets full of stuffing. Never catch me clubbing, but I ain't show the money. Then the hoes come running. Wake up, get the paper like the free press coming. But enough about that. Hold up, let me spit a rap. Please assholes back. With crack flow, cops in the front.
I'm dipping up the black dog. I'm spelling the word black.
Running through the snow in my socks, trying to dodge. My jail days was the worst days. Sipping water, damn juice when you thirsty. Real top is 3.5 for them. That's more
Oh, for fuck's sake, that's not a URL, you fucking. Why the fuck you? Better tell Marty.
Tony's in a pocket full of money, not the kind that she was lonely. Nah, sick as kid rabbit still. Make someone call the doctor cause the rabbit's ill. Here, take another pill, fake rabbits acting still. I've been on my A game, shit, never lacked the skill, real top. Yeah, that's that gang like shit. I'm from the same side.
They might walk up and they might drive by. Thank you, Mayor Patrick Brown. I never thought of doing the drive-bys on the 401 and 410. That's a perfect idea. I never thought about it, Frederick. It gives me a reason to fucking go driving, right? Who the fuck is that? Damn it. Oh, my God. No, fuck up. Where is eyewear? Damn it. Well, we're failing here. I typed in the fucking. We're not done yet. Hey, I know what to hit. Matt. No, that's not going to work. Hold on. That's an application, not a website anymore. Action. There we go. Photo G ride. Ooh, what it be like? To live it be like. All I know is sacrifice, long days, cold nights in the city with the dreams gonna die. I'm puffing on the weed cause you gotta stay high. I'm sipping on the liquor cause it gets die quicker. These are the bloodshot eyes of a killer. I put that on my flag. I'm going hard till I'm in that body bag. In the back in the cab with a brick in a duffel bag. Yeah, my pants sag as soon as the cops back. We move on them as soon as they come in range. All grown up. Still playing cops and robbers. Real cops, real guns, real robbers. Got between both a better way. Still
this rap shit help me get away. Something like they can't take away. This is a still play, even when I'm in my grave. Yeah, since the fuck law, sophistication jaw.
When I'm done
kicking down your door, you get pushed to it for sure. Got climb from the gutter, had to grind for my bread and butter. I'd rather die than let my family suffer. Fucking undercover, eternal slumber. My voice boom like the God of thunder. From the sits to the keys,
you went in where I'm at.
You ain't smart, I seen, I keep my ear to the streets. I'm serving these veins, yeah, the gun soda. You don't really want to see the bell smoke. Yeah, I dream while I'm wide awake. I might lose it all, that's the risk I take. Yeah, I dream while I'm wide awake. Turn up to me, I refuse to fake. Yeah, I dream while I'm wide awake. I might lose it all, that's the risk I take. Yeah, I dream while I'm wide awake. Turn up to me, I refuse to fake. Yeah, I dream to the watch me back to the face.
You're on Facebook, even better. Hey, Wallace, strap banging a pager. Can't just hold it. So that's not helping.
Mama, I was only 17, posted with the bag. Daddy wasn't there to guide the streets, make me a man. Pray for the Lord to save him, God embracing the hate. Music for the elevation, stay elevated. Mind focus, heavyweight, quick. When I started facing it, the foes devastated like a brain that takes. I'm wide awake, I might lose it.
Email. What's my email address? Somebody. I refuse to fake. They used to tell us not to point and tap when we're typing, and now you have to. Motherfucker. We were ahead of everything. Lose all your fingers. How, bitch? That ain't what your signature states. I know what I do first. I know I can type way faster than this. I don't want to listen to the news. It's going to be bullshit, right? Oh, we skipped 10 whole minutes of it. There's all these fucking apostrophes. We living in hell. Nobody got a story to tell. You can hear the wind. Fuck them, I don't even either way. Whole world against me.
I got the sun on my back, yeah, the road on my shoulders. Black cocaine, pilot holders, black flag soldiers. To my cats and clothes, like just further, well, that's just close. Trust me, boy, you won't tell me like a gazelle. Running with the elephants, real recognize fake. You got bitch baby written all over your face.
Motherfuckers, they change it. Oh, fuck. Motherfuckers. She dreams of coke. To me, that's funny, cause her dreams make my dreams come true. Darkness conquers light. Motherfucker. How the fuck am I supposed? There's a URL with a goddamn space in it. How? Oh, this is not cool. Somebody changed the URL on a very important website to me with a fucking space in it, and I can't fucking find the copy of it that doesn't have the space in it. How do you fucking enter a URL with a space in it and it works? That's what's in the address bar. How is that fucking possible? I'm gonna run out of fucking music, turn the radio back on, eh? Damn, this shouldn't take this long. This is wrong. Okay. Watertown. There it is. No, I want to fucking edit this shit. How the fuck did they do that to me? I can't copy and paste the fucking URL. Damn it. Oh, wait, maybe. Hold on. I saved it somewhere online. Situations like this. Oh, that's not gonna work. You dropped too high. For fuck's sake. There we go. It is definitely something wrong with me. About, where is, what the, about, okay, where is it? Motherfucker.
thought of my dome was sick. The cocky even after how many bullets really missed. Makes people alive. My enemy can't hit it target. It's got a son. It's me God. Yeah. It's like a son.
Motherfucker, you're gonna make me.
Nah, I ain't wanna do it. I gotta do it. Wish you could look inside my mind.
These people are gonna hurt my brain. No, don't reload. An apostrophe is %27. I don't know what the fuck a space is. I never thought to memorize that code. That's like fucking sabotage, eh? The other guy spit the bullet out. Right here with me. Oh, please, fuck, man. That's no. You changed it. You know what? I don't have to do that. Hold on. Oh. Damn it. There's no record of this fucking URL on my phone. That's not even possible. I can keep that going. You are fucking with my head. How the fuck is a fucking space? There is a fucking space. How did you put a fucking space? I can't work with that. That's not going to load when someone else goes to click on it. They're only going to get half the fuck. How the fuck am I supposed to use that? And how did you get rid of all the copies of it that were in my fucking computer, man? Okay, we're going to try this one more time. Motherfucker, I swear, if this disappears again, I'm going to be very upset. I'm not going to go crazy. I'm just going to be upset. Who's that? Oh. Sometimes home make the place you want to go. When the crowd room, I feel alone. He wants his mother to be and die in his arms. And then they wonder why he acts so the causes of his harm. He was even betting against me back then. I was never supposed to be shit. Listen to me locked up or dead. Tell me how am I alive if you save it for my head. Get the fuck out of here. Y'all ain't give a shit. I was born for a greater purpose. Because of that, I know I make you nervous. Careful, there's a demon lurking underneath the surface. I swear, if this form fucks up and I have to type it all in, I'm going to be very upset. I'd rather get fucking shot at right now than touch his button. I swear to God. 1, 2, 3. Thank you for subscribing. Did it work? Well, here's the primary problem. Why is JavaScript on for everything? I don't need it on for anything. It fucking works. I ain't scared of y'all, so you won't have to dead me before I ever stop. I'm a giant in the fast lane. Get your toes the fuck out the way. See, I'm stomping on everything. The cocaine and that, way less till I'm on triple back. I was looking for a damn phone number. Got killers across the country, just waiting for the order. Let the product across the border. Guns on their way, mine on standby. Send my condolences, yeah. Heard your man died. Got that good if you're trying to get high. Your name, your email. I could have just sent this. No, that wouldn't work. Apparently. We're gonna close this.
stop. No time to wish upon a star. Maybe one of my enemies gonna break today. Thinking about coming off, survival at all costs. Whatever it takes to zero limit my state. No room for error, no room for mistake. I'm a ride.
I don't give a fuck about the court case. I'm pissed off about my fucking emails and things disappearing and shit. So I'm paranoid, right? This shit ain't really happening. There's an apostrophe. The code for that is %27. Very easy to remember. So I only have to tell people that. Because on new computers, it might even work with the apostrophe. It might not. But if you put %27, it works. Somebody changed it to a space. Why'd you change it to a space? It's not 2 words. Motherfucker, why is there a goddamn space in a URL? So if I copy the whole URL and paste it, someone's going to click half the URL. That's not going to work. Wherever I posted, they're not going to assume. You can't just put a space. You have to put the whole fucking code to put a space. Like, it makes no sense to do that. Why the fuck did you do that? That's why nobody ever thought to memorize the code for a space, which is apparently 8 fucking digits long. I'm not even going to try to remember that. I'm never going to use it. I'm not doing it. Oh, sometimes they have...
To that long-term construction to Cherry. We've got westbound Gardner QEW delays from about Spadina to the exhibition grounds, 427 to Cawthra, and Ford Drive to Trafalgar. As you travel the DVP and 404, northbound delays Don Mills up to York Mills, and it's still busy on the 404 Highway 7 to north of 16th Avenue. South 404 volume, though, pretty well non-existent. You'll just find a bunch up at the 401 ramps, and that's pretty well it. While we're on the subject to the 401, eastbound delays still from the 427 alternately express and collectors to about Kennedy, and a couple of breaks starting to show through there, but it's really busy all the way across. We have westbound 401 delays. In fact, it's in much better shape westbound. Just seeing a bit of volume through Avenue Road in the Express. That does it for volume across the city, but busy again 410 Express and collectors to west of Mavis as you travel into Mississauga. Enjoy the savings when you fly nonstop to Orlando, Tampa Bay, or Fort Lauderdale from Hamilton International Airport, your low-cost airport. Your next report at 7:41, and with the forecast, here's Natasha Ramsahai.
Clear tonight, fog patches in the morning as we wake up to 8 degrees, and then throughout the afternoon will be partly cloudy, a little thicker cloud through the afternoon with a very mild high of 19 degrees. Best chance for some late afternoon showers will be north of Highway 7. Overnight tonight, we're down to a low of 8 degrees.
Right now in downtown Toronto, clear and 12. 680 news time, 7:33.
They're trying to prevent another tragedy. Hamilton School Board debating whether a panel should be set up to tackle bullying.
It comes in the wake of a 14-year-old's death this month, allegedly at the hands of his tormentors. 680's Casey Taylor following tonight's meeting and joins us live with the details. Casey.
Scott, yes, and the Hamilton School Board has now voted to go ahead with this 3-person panel that will be tasked with doing a deep dive into how bullying has evolved and how policies need to evolve to meet the threat. Hamilton Wentworth District School Board Chair Alex Johnstone saying bullying has seemed to run rampant in society.
We know it often starts in our schools, and we need to do more to protect and support our children. That is what the panel will be tackling in the coming months.
But while it can start in the schools can't be the only ones tasked with prevention and intervention. The process will see panelists reaching out to students, families, and anti-bullying experts. Sometimes they're pointing out there does need to be some kind of a breakdown between the different potential issues and stressors that are faced by different age groups. The province already saying it would like to see the findings when the panel is done. The panel is scheduled to report back by the end of May. Reporting live, Casey Taylor, 680 News.
680 news time, 7:34. After a 5-month-long break, the Ontario Legislature is back in session. 680's Richard Southern has more from Queen's Park.
First day back for MPPs in 144 days. Question number 1 for the Energy Minister, Greg Whitford, was, is the government going to continue to force gas stations to display their anti-carbon tax?
The sticker campaign all that time and all that money, I know I
believe that is a matter of transparency. Consumers have the right to know. During question period, Premier Ford says he's going to continue continue with his taxpayer-funded court challenge against the Carbon Tax.
We didn't run on increasing gas prices by 35 cents a liter.
Green Party leader Mike Schreiner.
I don't think anybody elected this premier to waste our tax dollars with a politically motivated lawsuit, because the government's not going to win anyway.
The tone, though, was much friendlier in the legislature. Not nearly as many standing ovations by the government. House Leader Paul Calandra.
I think you saw the tone on both sides of the House was different.
Interim Liberal Leader Don Fraser.
A change in tone is welcome. What's needed is a change in priorities.
At Queen's Park, I'm Richard Southern.
A dramatic rescue playing out earlier today in Midtown. A Toronto fire rescue team helping save a construction worker's life after he became stuck 8 stories up in the air. 680's Mark Douglas joins us from near Bayview in Eglinton.
Toronto firefighters have helped to save the life of a man who became stuck on the outside of a high-rise construction site 8 stories above the ground. He got stuck between the construction site elevator and the outside of the wall. Fire Chief Matthew Pegg says they got him down in what they call a high-angle rescue. He was placed in one of our tower ladder buckets and then lowered to the ground and immediately transferred to the care of Toronto paramedics. They indicate to me that he has significant injuries. The worker now recovering in hospital. The call came in at 10:18 a.m. from the building site here on Broadway Avenue between Yonge and Mount Pleasant. A few dozen of the other construction workers could only watch from across the street as their friend was rescued. The construction site is closed while the Ministry of Labour investigates how this all happened. Near Yonge and Eglinton, I'm Mark Douglas.
Another deadly day on our streets to start the week. 2 pedestrians hit and killed in 2 separate parts of town. 680's Moma Qureshi joins us from Muncie near St. Clair and Runnymede.
2 women were struck by a van as it tried to make a left onto St. Clair just west of Runnymede. Omar just happened to be walking by at the time and stood and watched as CPR was performed on one of the women.
Oh man, it's traumatic. It's not a good scene, you know.
But despite their valiant efforts, an 82-year-old woman did die while a woman in her 60s was taken to hospital with serious injuries. Sergeant Murray Campbell with Traffic Services says they were crossing mid-block where there's no crosswalk or stoplights.
It might be easier to cross the road here without having to walk the distances around, but as you can see by what happened today, I would urge all pedestrians to do whatever they can to make it the safest for themselves.
Earlier in the day, a man in his 70s was struck and killed at Don Mills in Eglinton.
No, I'm thinking,
Here with All News Radio, 680 News at 7:37. Just shy of 500 Ford employees in Oakville set to lose their jobs. The 680 business editor Stuart Biggin explains why. It's all because people aren't buying or driving the Ford Flex. The crossover vehicle is the lowest selling Ford in their lineup since September, and Ford's now decided to halt that vehicle's production by the end of November. That means 450 workers at the Oakville assembly plant will lose their jobs by early next year. Employees were reportedly told the news in a company email that was sent at the start of the workday. Unifor President Jerry Dias is reportedly working to hold a meeting with Ford now to discuss a possible future for those affected by the layoffs. This is the second round of Ford layoffs this year after cuts in July that were blamed on slowing production and consumer demand. At the Business Center, I'm Stuart Biggin.
Demanding quick action on climate change, a group of young people occupied the floor of the House of Commons this morning.
Singing songs, making speeches, and chanting for environmental action, more than 24 young people took part in the demonstration organized by the group Our Time. Cricket Chang came here from Toronto and tells me they gained access to the House of Commons while on a parliamentary tour.
Once we entered the floor, we began an occupation. We brought with us 338 mandate letters.
Those letters demand MPs in the new minority Parliament implement a Green New Deal to take significant steps to address the climate emergency.
We need a plan to transition Canada away from dependence on fossil fuels to a zero carbon economy.
The demonstration moved outside after protesters were arrested. A spokesperson for the federal environment minister says they've heard the message from young people, and for the Trudeau government, ambitious climate action is a priority. Cormac McSweeney, Parliament Hill.
680 News Time, 7:39.
VoteOn.net wants to show you how to make a play this basketball season. When everyone's got the favorite from LA, you're repping the underdog from the 6. When everyone says beating this team is impossible, you're all about going all in on possible. When all of social media says you've got no chance, you've already got the perfect tweet to prove them wrong. Even when the odds are stacked against you, you're already planning the post game. Don't miss a chance to make a play at VoteOn.net, your source of free casino games, poker strategy, and live basketball odds.
Now, the 680 News gas price update. EDPRO predicts the price will not change at midnight, holding at $1.18.9 a liter at most GTA stations. We'll check traffic and weather in 60 seconds.
680 News Time, 7:40.
Now is your best chance to experience the iconic performance and head-turning design of the Range Rover Sport or the Range Rover Velar. Discover unbelievable offers on our 2019 models. For a limited time, enjoy savings up to $4,000 on remaining 2019 Range Rover Velar models.
Oh, shit.
I'm Omen Qureshi on St. Clair, just west of Runnymede, where an 82-year-old woman has died after being struck by a vehicle. Toronto police say a van was coming down Castleton Avenue, trying to make a left onto St. Clair when it struck two women.
As you can see, it's mid-block between two signalized intersections. Both pedestrians were attempting to cross the road.
He does not belong in this. What the fuck?
The north side, when they were struck by a vehicle. Both females were transported to hospital.
Okay, I need to turn off. The subtitles have fucking weird messages in them. I just wanted to see a picture, right? I don't know. I guess it's St. Clair. They were running me. I don't know. That's a big joke, eh? It's a white van. Like, and look, there's there's other white vans and a black van. There's a whole shitload of vans. They all look exactly the fucking same. Man, you could have parked it, and who the fuck would have known which one it was? I guess it'd be blood and shit on it. As you can see, it's mid-women. The fuck? Like, how do you turn that off? Does that turn off? Captions off. Does it disappear? It works. That is incredible. I'm used to these sites never fucking working correctly. That's all I wanted to see.
It's slow from the 407 to about Highway 7, in fact, to north of 16th Avenue, almost up to speed through here. And into downtown, you will find delays on the south 404 down Valley. The only delay, in fact, is just a bunch up at the 401 ramps. Heading onto the DVP, you're in good shape. Toronto bound or eastbound QEW over the Burlington Skyway. Two left lanes are blocked, so it's slow approaching Eastport. Past the Skyway, no delays until you get to the Gardner. It's busy then from the Humber Bridge into the long-term construction to Cherry. Still busy on the 410 northbound as well, by the way, from north of the 407 up to Queen because of earlier problems. The 7-passenger Mazda CX-9 is Ajax's best large utility vehicle in Canada for a second year in a row. Book a test drive at Mazda.ca. Your next report at 7:51, and with the forecast, here's Natasha Ramsahai.
Clear skies today, fog patches in the morning, waking up to 8 degrees. And if you thought today was mild, tomorrow even milder, 19 degrees on the way with some good sun through the middle of the day. We'll have some increasing afternoon clouds, slight chance for showers to the north end of the GTA. Better chance in Toronto will be through the evening, but it's really, really light. Again, 19 degrees. Wednesday, overcast, high of 11. Will be dry through the day. Evening showers returns, and that will turn into more persistent rainfall on Wednesday night. Tonight, we're down to a low of 8 degrees.
Right now, downtown Toronto, a clear sky at 12 degrees. Pearson also clear, also 12. 680 News Time, 7:43.
It appears some conservatives are trying to ramp up the pressure to oust Andrew Scheer as leader. A new website and Twitter account have been set up called Scheer Must Go. The website asking people to sign a petition or make a donation to help in a campaign to force Scheer out of the top job. When conservatives hold a leadership review at their convention in April, the site says it has been set up by conservative members and supporters, but does not say exactly who's running it or if they're affiliated with a possible leadership challenger. 680 News Time, 7:44.
We love waking up early this morning to unwrap Atlas from Volkswagen. We make cookies and carols, and we have a big
Atlas that seats 7.
So we have the family over for
Up to $4,000 in bonus cash.
Or we'll take the kids to the mall
With the Atlas 4-motion all-wheel drive.
to sit on
Volksfest.
Claus's lawn. It's too bad.
Volksfest.
It's over
October 31st. Visit BrandgateBW.com for details.
potatoes.
Part of the Bramgate Automotive family. You can now buy your Lotto 649 and Lotto Max tickets at every lane in select grocery stores. Honey, the other lines are moving way faster.
Yeah, but since lottery tickets and groceries are a perfect pair, just like you and me, I'm sticking with checkout 5. It's our number.
Why is 5 our number?
It's our anniversary.
You think it's the 5th?
Yeah.
Then maybe we'd be better off at lane 7.
Lane 7, here we go.
Yep, now you can buy your Lotto 649 and Lotto Max tickets at every checkout lane. Which lane will you play?
This is All News Radio, 680 News.
It is clear
Doing
at
700 bottles
13
of perfume.
degrees.
Who the
Good
fuck do you
evening
sell
from
that
the
to?
680 News Broadcast Center in downtown Toronto. I'm Caitlin Lane.
I'm Scott Burnett. Here are the top stories of this hour.
A school board in Hamilton has decided to put together an anti-bullying panel in the wake of the stabbing death of 14-year-old Devin Rocky Selvey earlier this month. The panel will reach out to students, families, and anti-bullying experts and report back their findings next May. A dramatic rescue in Midtown today. Firefighters saving the life of a man who became stuck on the outside of a high-rise construction site 8 stories up. That man is now recovering in hospital. And still to come, travelers may soon be able to drink around the clock at Pearson Airport bars as long as they're past security. 680 News Time, 7:45. Now 680 Sports from Sportsnet 590 The Fan. Good evening, Rob Wong.
Good evening, Caitlin. And right now, the Raptors hosting the Magic at Scotiabank Arena with one of their Rewind Knights wearing the old throwback dinosaur jerseys. And it's a good start for Toronto.
Van Fleet, near side. Turns the corner on Fournier, trying to get to the 10. It was caught for a moment. Freddie fights through. He slams his hand onto his right bicep and says, "There's the strength you just spoke about, Jonesy," as he gets it to go in an and one opportunity.
Eric Smith with the call on Sportsnet 590. The Fan. Raptors leading at 16-9 right now, coming up to the midway point of the first quarter. Marcus Saul with a game-high 5 points so far, as every Raptors starter has scored to begin this ball game. You can also watch it right now over on Sportsnet. The Maple Leafs return to action tomorrow when they host the Washington Capitals. Travis Dermott likely to play his first game of the year. He's coming back from off-season shoulder surgery. Coming up at 8:15, the Miami Dolphins looking for their first win of the season as they take their 0-6 record into Pittsburgh to face the 2-4 Steelers in the Monday Nighter. And a couple of trades in the NFL today. The Cardinals acquiring Kenyon Drake from Miami, sending a 6th-round pick back for the right back, while the Giants traded a pair of draft picks to the Jets for defensive tackle Leonard Williams. Sports at 15 and 45, past every hour or anytime on the home of Tim and Sid, now on radio and TV. Sportsnet 590 The Fan.
680 News Time, 7:47.
Hello, horses.
The Greystone Paddocks.
Hello, bees.
The Greystone Apiary.
Hello, skaters.
The Greystone Skating Pond.
Hello, trees.
The Greystone Forest.
Good night, stars.
And Starfall Observatory. With farmhouse architecture and remarkable amenities like a sugar shack, farm, acres of woods and trails, and nights full of stars. Greystone, the country estate rethought. Visit BRAEstone.ca.
At Tirecraft, we know real life happens at the worst possible time. A flat tire on your truck in the mall parking lot. A rattling sound that throws a wrench in your autumn drive. The first snowstorm hits, and your winter tires are still in storage. When real life happens, trust Tirecraft. Until December 31st, get a $40 GT Radial prepaid Visa card by mail when you purchase a set of 4 GT Radial Ice Pro 3 tires or other qualifying models. Tirecraft. Real people servicing real life.
This health report is brought to you by Cold Drops.
One drop for temporary relief of sore throat and nasal congestion.
Cold drops.
Cold Drops are available at Metro pharmacies near you. This product may not be right for you. Always read and follow the label.
680 News Time, 7:48.
5 Ontario moms are part of a group taking the province to court, vying for the right not to vaccinate their kids. They're challenging Ontario's child vaccination law because they say it violates a number of constitutional rights. The current rules require parents to vaccinate children against a list of diseases unless granted a medical exemption. Failure to vaccinate can result in the medical officer of health ordering children be suspended from
school. The province has yet to file a statement of defense with the courts. Travelers will likely soon be able to drink around the clock at Pearson Airport bars. The proposed loosened alcohol restrictions among dozens of measures in a bill tabled in legislature. Under the proposed law, bars and restaurants located after security in certain commercial airports would be allowed to serve alcohol all day. In Ontario, they're currently restricted to between 9 a.m. and 2 a.m. The bill would also allow dog owners to bring their furry friends onto restaurant patios and into breweries where only drinks and, quote, low-risk pre-packaged foods are served. In 60 seconds, we'll check the roads as well as your extended forecast.
680 News Time, 7:50.
4 in the morning, 6 in the morning.
Lazy Boy Moonlight Sale into a Moonlight Mega Sale? Well, when you think you can't cut prices anymore, you keep cutting. When you think the discount is big, you make it huge. That's when you've got yourself a Lazy Boy Moonlight Mega Sale. Check out Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries this weekend for door crashers, huge savings, and prices that are truly mad. Live life comfortably. Lazy Boy. Hurry, the madness at Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries ends soon.
Thank you for calling Pizza Pizza.
Yes, I'd like to make a reservation for 4.
I'm happy to take your order, but you don't need a reservation.
Excuse me?
You want to try the new Gourmet Thins, right?
How'd you know?
This has been happening a lot lately. It's a 10-inch thin crust, perfectly sized for one. Or get a few to share, like creamy truffle or pesto amore. And sir, no jacket required.
What about a tie?
New Gourmet Thins, $7.29 each. Call or order with the app for pickup or delivery. Only at Pizza Pizza.
Top target in the crash.
Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here is Kyle Hawking.
This report brought to you by IA Clarington Investments. Got a better view of this westbound 401 problem approaching Avenue Road in the Express. Indeed, the left lane is blocked with a crash. 2 vehicles, it looks like, and 2 tow trucks are now on scene. West 401 slowing from about Yonge to approaching Avenue in the Express. Collector lanes look to be moving fairly well through here. So just transfer over and you'll avoid this delay in the Express because of this problem. Elsewhere, the westbound 401 not doing too badly. The only other delay is into Mississauga. It's busy approaching here, Ontario, and the collectors to west of Mavis. Heavier side of the 401 still is the east 401, but we're starting to see a light at the end of the tunnel here. Heavy delays still from Dixon to about the 400, mainly in the Express. A bit of a break and then slows again approaching Keele. Alternately Express and collectors to Leslie. Again, from the DVP to Victoria Park Express and to Kennedy in the collectors. So we're finally starting to see some larger gaps as you cross the city eastbound. On your way out of downtown, the westbound Gardner now moving well. Westbound QEW in good shape through Mississauga. Still slowing by the Ford plant, though, from Ford Drive to Trafalgar. You'll find the Don Valley Parkway northbound with a delay north of Don Mills up to York Mills. 404 volumes now eased off both northbound and southbound. Surely not bad heading south. South DVP's in good shape as well. And if you're traveling toward the city on the Toronto bound, eastbound QE and Gardner, it's busy over the Burlington Skyway. 2 left lanes are blocked for construction here, and so it delays from about Eastport over the Skyway. No problems past that onto the eastbound Gardner, and delays then begin at the Humber Bridge into the long-term construction to Cherry. IA Clarington, where they believe in the value of active management to navigate today's complex markets. Visit iaclarington.com. Your next report at 8:01, and with the forecast, here's Natasha Ramsay.
Watch for some fog patches as you head out the door in the morning to 8 degrees. Otherwise, once that dissipates, mainly sunny through lunch. I think it's a patio alert. That's what I'm calling. 16 degrees at noon, rising to 19 through the afternoon with increasing cloud. Now, there is a very slight chance of some late day showers tomorrow. Best chance will be north of the city. Wednesday will be dry to start, overcast through the day and a high of 11, but rain returns starting late Wednesday afternoon. It's going to continue right through the night into a good chunk of Thursday, which of course is Halloween. Showers will start tapering off through the evening, but still some spotty raindrops are possible. 10 degrees the high on Halloween. Tonight we're down to a low of 8 degrees.
Downtown Toronto, clear and 12 degrees, same conditions at Pearson Airport.
680 News Time, 7:53.
This extended forecast is brought to you by Walmart.
Who's calling the shots this flu season? You are. Help protect your family with a flu shot from your local Walmart pharmacy. Subject to availability. No appointment necessary. Walmart Pharmacy. Partnered with Apotex.
It's also how important you are in society.
That's why Rogers offers Hunt Groups, a feature that helps turn your mobile phone into a business phone system. Your clients will find the right person to talk to every time they call. Plus, their time on hold will be minimized.
Ask about Hunt Groups and get the business-grade wireless solutions you deserve. For a personalized wireless quote, visit Rogers.com/plansforbiz today. Rogers, make more possible.
You can make more.
When news breaks, the 680 News Cruiser is there, covering the story live from the scene.
24/7 in your community.
The 680 News Cruiser.
Powered by Don Valley North Toyota.
Breaking news, traffic, and weather. This is 680 News.
Hamilton has proven a record-breaking smash in Toronto even before the box office for the musical officially opened this morning.
I am not throwing my shot. I am not throwing away. Okay. Peel police cruiser involved in collision while pursuing robbery suspects. A Peel police cruiser was involved in a collision while pursuing suspects believed to be involved in a robbery in Mississauga. I can't tell which car they pulled over and which one's the cop car, but they fucking drive everything now. Officers responded to a call for a bank robbery in the area of Mississauga Road, wherever, and Sandalwood Parkway around 11:45 a.m. There was another one yesterday. Police say, yesterday, last night, Saturday, whatever the fuck it was, over the weekend. Police say a gun was used in the robbery. Cash was allegedly taken. No injuries were reported. The suspects left the scene in a car and then later fled on foot. While pursuing the suspects, a Peel police cruiser became involved in a collision with another vehicle at Mississauga Road and Steeles Avenue West. How? The man in the vehicle was taken to the hospital with minor injuries to the extremities. So he's at the very end of the story. Oh, he has minor injuries. He was minding his own fucking business and a cop hit him. What the fuck? Hard enough to fucking injure him. Minor injuries to the extremities. That can end up with like major problems, eh? Nerves and shit, nerve damage. Yeah, it doesn't specify what that means, eh? The officer in the cruiser suffered minor injuries and was not taken to hospital. Yeah, but you could like fucking still make claims and get money and shit. The suspects remain at large. St. Daniel, something Comboni Catholic Elementary School has been placed in a hold and secure because they have like 5 different levels of what they're doing. Hold and secure. I don't know what that means. What's the difference between a lockdown and a hold and secure? As tactical and canine units investigate. Well, I don't see a damaged car, so I don't know. Is this the cars that they ran out of or something, or is this? I don't see the damage to any of these vehicles, and there's like 7 vehicles in. Well, technically there's 8 in the fucking shot, eh? So this was 2 different locations. So it's where is this picture? They might say this is a damn file photo, right? No. Oh, this Wiz with
popular headphones that add noise cancellation, water resistance, and a new design. Coming with a price tag around $249, the company says in a statement it'll begin shipping on Wednesday. Apple had to close higher by 1% to $249.05. A 4-day rally for the S&P and NASDAQ. S&P adding 16 points, 3,039. NASDAQ gained 1% or 82 points to 8,325. TSX lower for the first time in 3 days, dropping 16 points, 16,387. After the bell, U.S. shares of Beyond Meat fell more than 6% in the extended session, despite reporting its first quarterly profit in the company's history while raising its annual revenue forecast for the second consecutive quarter. With third quarter earnings missing estimates, Google parent Alphabet fell more than 2% after hours, but during trading, the stock did hit an all-time high today of $1,299.24. Gold lower for the first time in 4 days, sinking $9.50, finishing at $1,495. Oil saying goodbye to a 4-day rally, losing 1.5%, closing at $55.81 a barrel. Canadian dollar higher by 0.01%, finishing at 76.60 cents US. At the Business Center, I'm Carl Garnish.
You know what's crazy? Not using smarter tools to manage your small business. You work too hard to work this hard. Collecting receipts? Is this the 80s? QuickBooks gives you a smarter set of business tools that do all the hard work for you. You may work for yourself, but you don't have to go at it alone. It's easier than rewinding a VHS before returning it. You earned it. We're here to make sure you get it. And for a limited time, save 70% when you buy Intuit QuickBooks. QuickBooks, backing you. QuickBooks.ca for full offer details.
Are you struggling to lose weight? Has that extra weight been keeping you from looking and feeling your best? At the Bernstein Diet and Health Clinics, we've been helping people lose weight and feel great for over 40 years. And we can help you lose up to 20 pounds per month without exercise or diet pills. Whether you want to lose 10 pounds, 50 pounds, or more, our team of nurses and doctors will ensure that your weight loss is healthy and long-lasting. So stop struggling and start succeeding. To learn more, visit the Bernstein Diet and Health Clinics at drbdiet.com.
Now, 680 News regional weather conditions for Walmart.
With Walmart's guaranteed unbeatable low prices, save $7.99 on 30 rolls of Royale bathroom tissue. Now only $10.98. Walmart. Save money, live better.
In Oshawa,
Venezuelan Boulevards,
10 degrees and clear. Brampton, 12 degrees and clear. In downtown Toronto, 12 degrees and clear. It's also 12 at Pearson Airport. 680 News Time, 8 o'clock.
Number one for breaking news, traffic, bad weather. This is 680 News, Toronto.
Here are Scott Burnett and Caitlin Lee.
Good evening. This is Monday, October 28th.
Here's what's making news this hour.
The school board approves a new panel aimed at tackling bullying, but weeks after the death of a bullied teen, some frustrated advocates say it's just a Band-Aid. A well-rested legislature returns to Queen's Park and a laundry list of items to discuss after the longest break for members in 25 years.
Fire crews perform a dramatic rescue after a worker was left stranded 8 stories up at a construction site near Yonge and Eglinton.
Police on the hunt for a 26-year-old man accused of choking a 96-year-old woman unconscious in her own home in Markham. The Raptors are turning back the clock tonight as they host the Orlando Magic at Scotiabank Arena, while the NFL's Monday Nighters sees the Dolphins take on the Steelers. Sports at 15.
Investors chewing on the latest earnings from one alternative meat maker. Google, Parent, Alphabet, and WestJet also went with results. Dow rose 132 points. TSX fell by 16.
Never going to buy a barrel of oil.
This time, 8:01.
Traffic and weather together on the ones at the traffic center. Kyle Hawking.
This report brought to you by Foodland Ontario. That was short-lived on the westbound 401. Problems approaching Avenue Road in the Express already gone. So it is still a bit slow through the area. Actually, I have the camera up at Yonge Street, which is where the delays began. Doesn't look too bad through there now. So it looks like most of the delay that caused is pretty well gone. Only delays now on the westbound 401 are into Mississauga, approaching Huron, Ontario, and the collectors to west of Avis. And the eastbound 401, still the heavier side, is busy from, actually, as you approach the 400 ramps, it's not bad now. Delays begin east of the 400, alternately expressing collectors to Leslie, and then from the DVP to Victoria Park in the express and to Kennedy in the collectors. Leaving downtown in the westbound Gardner and QEW, no problems on the Gardner, it's up to speed. QEW is in good shape through Mississauga. The only delay is a minor one by the Ford plant. Traveling out of downtown north on the DVP 404, that's still slow approaching Eglinton to York Mills. 404 is up to speed. And no issues on the south 404 Don Valley heading for the city. Construction popping up on the Toronto-bound and eastbound QEW. Already had some over this Burlington Skyway. 2 left lanes are blocked there, so slow from approaching Eastport. Now they're setting up by the Ford plant in the left lane and from east of Dixie over to the 427 in the left lane. So far, neither one causing a delay. Eastbound Gardner much improved. Now just slow approaching Spadina to Cherry. Foodland Ontario reminds you to buy local. Look and ask for Ontario potatoes when you shop. After all, good things grow in Ontario, paid for by the Government of Ontario. Your next report at 8:11, and with the forecast, here's Natasha Ramsahai.
Clear skies tonight, temperatures down to 8 degrees by the morning, and we may have some visibility issues due to fog in the morning, so leave about 5-10 extra minutes. Once that dissipates, though, we'll be in for a mainly sunny lunch hour, increasing afternoon cloud, chance for evening showers here in the city, but mild at 19 degrees. Tonight, we're down to a low of 8 degrees. Right now in downtown Toronto, 12 degrees and clear. There's no clouds at Pearson Airport as well, 12 degrees. 680 News Time, 8:03.
The
story of a 14-year-old boy stabbed to death on the steps of his Hamilton Public School earlier this month, hovering over a Hamilton school board meeting tonight.
The board discussing the creation of an anti-bullying panel in the hopes of preventing the same kind of violence that claimed the life of Devin Bronke-Selby. 680's Casey Taylor joins us live with the details. Casey.
Caitlin, the Hamilton Wentworth School Board signing off on creating a 3-person panel tasked with reaching out to students, families, and anti-bullying experts to see what more can be done. Board Chair Alex Johnstone acknowledging schools need to step up.
We are doing this because we need to do better. Bullying is complicated, it is extremely serious, and it is rampant in our society.
But some frustrating moments for the mother of Devin Bronke-Selby, absolute joke.
What we seen here was a Band-Aid. That young man was murdered 3 weeks ago, and now they're putting a committee together to review it and wait.
The panel is set to report its findings at the end of May. Reporting live, Casey Taylor, 680 News.
Nearly 3 years after the beating of a teenager in Whitby, a Toronto police officer and his brother are set to trial. Constable Michael Thurl and Christian Thurl are jointly charged with aggravated assault and separately charged for attempting to obstruct justice in connection with the incident in 2016. 19-year-old Devontae Miller suffering serious injuries, including damage to his eye, which had to be removed. Regional police arrived at the scene. Miller was charged with theft as well as assault with a weapon. Those charges were eventually withdrawn. Criminal charges against the brothers, meanwhile, were not laid until 7 months after the incident. None of the charges have been proven in court. The judge-alone trial getting underway tomorrow in Oshawa.
680 News Time, 8:05. It's just into 680 News. One person has been taken to hospital after being struck by a vehicle in Mississauga. It happened at Huron, Ontario and Eglinton. Paramedics say the victim suffered life-threatening injuries. Eglinton is now closed from Huron, Ontario to Sorrento for the investigation. Stay with 680 News for more on this developing story.
Well, meantime, 2 pedestrians have been killed in 2 separate crashes on city streets today. The most recent near St. Clair and Runnymede. 680's Momin Qureshi with the latest.
2 women were crossing the street mid-block, according to Toronto police, when they were struck by a van as it tried to make a left turn onto St. Clair, just west of Runnymede. Unfortunately, an 82-year-old woman dying of her injuries, while a woman in her 60s is in serious condition. He sees people jaywalking across this part of the street all the time.
Lots of people, they just run across to the other side and they don't go with the traffic light is to cross the street, just cross it. Not walking all the way to the traffic light, just crossing the street from the middle way.
So that's something you see all the time.
Oh yeah, it's happened a lot.
Just a few hours earlier, a man in his 70s was struck and killed by a vehicle at Don Mills and Eglinton. On St. Clair near Rutherford, I'm Momin Qureshi.
You're with All News Radio 680 News at 8:06. After the longest vacation in 25 years, well-rested MPs coming back to Queen's Park today, focused on changing the status quo.
Energy Minister Greg Rickford says the government will continue to force gas stations across the province to display their anti-carbon tax sticker, even though the federal Liberals were re-elected.
This is about educating people that this is something that we want to let the consumer of Ontario know where that cost is coming from.
Green Party leader Mike Schreiner.
Taxpayer dollars on stickers that don't stick. They don't even tell the full story.
Inside the legislature, it was the first question period in 144 days.
I want to welcome back the Premier back to the office. It's great to see him back here at work.
Word was asked about education cuts.
50% of our grade 6 students are failing math, Mr. Speaker, and 1/3 of those teachers that are teaching that math course also failed that math test.
I have to say, I did notice a much different tone in the legislature, much friendlier. Only one standing ovation by the government. Here's Government House Leader Paul Calandra.
I think you saw the tone on both sides of the House was different.
At Queen's Park, I'm Richard Southern.
680 News Time, 8:07. A high-in-the-sky rescue for Toronto firefighters, saving a construction worker who became trapped 8 stories up at a construction site this morning. 680's Mark Douglas joins us from the scene near Yonge and Eglinton.
Toronto fire crews to the rescue of a man trapped in a high-rise construction site. Fire Chief Matthew Pegg.
Trapped between the construction elevator on the outside of the building and the wall of the building, 8 stories up.
Toronto Fire got the call around 10:15 this morning, bringing crews out to a high-rise construction site here on Broadway Avenue west of Yonge. The worker survived, but Pegg says he suffered significant injuries. This was a high-angle rescue. The fire truck ladder up in the air at what I would say was at least an 80-degree angle. The rescue team got the worker out, got him loaded into a suit and down to the ground. Now it's up to the Ministry of Labor to figure out exactly how the worker became stuck between the wall and the elevator in the first place. Near Yonge and Eglinton, I'm Mark Douglas.
Markham police are searching for a man following a violent attack on a 96-year-old woman. York Regional Police say the elderly woman was beaten and choked unconscious in her home on Sunday. Investigators allege the suspect is someone the woman knew but would not elaborate. Police now looking for a 26-year-old man and urging him to find a lawyer and turn himself in.
A heavyweight producer responsible for some of Hollywood's biggest hits has passed away at the age of 89.
Robert Evans was the force behind such films as Chinatown, Love Story, and The Godfather, but he got his start in the women's clothing business. He was in Los Angeles on business when actress Norma Shearer saw him and suggested to her husband, movie mogul Irving Thalberg, that he cast Evans as Thalberg in the film Man of a Thousand Faces. Evans' acting career petered out, but he found his success when he took over production at Paramount Pictures. He was married 7 times, including to actresses Ally McGraw and Catherine Oxenberg, and former Miss America Phyllis George. His 1994 memoir, The Kid Stays in the Picture, was turned into a 2002 documentary. I'm Archie Zarletta.
Coming up in 30 seconds, we'll check on the price of the pumps.
680 News Time, 8:09.
This is
680
News. Green Park and Starling are proud to bring beauty to life. Your life. Welcome to Mountain View Heights, an oasis community in beautiful escarpment country, featuring modern singles in the heart of Waterdown, nestled within a rich network of parks and trails, and featuring amenities and transit options. Waterdown is only 10 minutes from Oakville and offers savings of $300,000 to $600,000. Buy now. Only a few lots remain. Visit mountainviewheights.ca.
Now the 680 News gas price update and pro predicting the price of gas will not change at midnight.
680 News Time, 8:10.
It's never been easier to buy Israel bonds. You can now buy Israel bonds online. Israel bonds are offered in U.S. and Canadian currencies with strong rates paying semi-annual fixed interest. Enhance, diversify, and grow your investment portfolio with Israel bonds. Israel bonds are sold in Canada by Canada Israel Securities Limited. For all rates and conditions, call us at 1-866-543-3351. To buy Israel bonds online, start at israelbonds.ca. It's never been easier.
Everyone's talking about the hit musical sensation Come From Away. It's a true story. Thousands of people stranded in a small town in Newfoundland on 9/11, and the locals, they opened up their homes. What happened that week, the kindness, the resilience, the joy, reminds us all what it is to be human. Come From Away.
I want to see how much money they want.
Get tickets at
How
Mervish.com.
much they want in one shot.
Time, 8:11.
Traffic and weather together on the ones at the traffic center. Kyle Hawking.
This report brought to you by 407 ETR.
Man,
We're
ready to
dealing with
pit.
this eastbound 401 delay. If you're stuck in it, you're one of the only people that are dealing with delays right now. Eastbound 401 a bit slow through Keele and the collectors, and then slows again from the Allen Express and approaching Bayview collectors to Leslie. Busy again, Victoria Park to Kennedy in the collectors. So it is an improvement over the last 20 minutes or so, starting to really see it empty out now, but you will still find those delays as you cross the city eastbound. Westbound 401 now in good shape across the city. If you listen closely, you can hear crickets on pretty well all of the rest of our major routes. Save for one spot, actually 2 spots on the Toronto-bound and eastbound QEW. Over the Burlington Skyway, 2 left lanes still blocked for construction, will be for the overnight. So it is a bit busy over the Skyway, improving steadily there though after they set the cones down. You'll find it not bad by the Ford plant, although they are setting up construction there in the left lane. The other delay is from Dixie to east of it as you head into yet another construction zone where the left lane is blocked, but no delays traveling the other way on the westbound Gardner QEW. Everything in good shape. In fact, both directions on the Gardner and on the Don Valley Parkway now. The only delays you may find are very minor ones. North DVP, Eglinton, up towards York Mills. We have a closure in Mississauga now of Eglinton between Huron, Ontario and Sorrento. That's for a collision investigation. Police are on scene. Almost 80% of drivers report that some, most, or even all of their tolls are offset through time and gas savings on 407 ETR, your fast, safe, and reliable choice. Your next report at 8:21, and with the forecast, here's Natasha Ranzai.
8 degrees tonight. We are looking at some fog patches developing, and that may linger into that morning commute. So 5-10 extra minutes in the morning, that's such a bad idea. We'll have some sun through the lunch hour, increasing afternoon cloud with a high of 19 degrees, well above seasonal. Slight chance for some late day showers into the city. Better chance will be off to the north end of the city. And then Wednesday, cloudy skies. Should be dry through the morning. Rain returns through the evening. It's back to seasonal at 11 degrees. Tonight, we're down to a low of 8 degrees.
Right now in downtown Toronto, a clear sky, 12 degrees. Now the cloud in the sky at Pearson Airport, also 12. 680 News Time, 8:13.
Well, hundreds of Facebook employees have signed a letter to CEO Mark Zuckerberg saying they oppose the social network's policy of letting politicians lie in their advertisements. The New York Times reports more than 250 workers signed the letter to Facebook to change the policy that says it is, quote, a threat to what Facebook stands for. Facebook says the company appreciates employees voicing their concerns, but the company, quote, remains committed to not censoring political speech.
24-hour alcohol at the fucking airport. Oh, it's not bad here. We got
You want
casinos.
winter tires from Mississauga or Rexdale Hyundai? The Halloween sale is here. It's your chance to spin and win with each in-stock purchase, plus get a $500 winter
Okay, they go
tire
down to
credit on
$36.
2019
You
and
can put in
2020 models.
$18 at a fucking time.
There you go.
Wow.
0% lease and finance
With
rates.
US dollars at
as all
5,000.
2019 models are cleared out. It's the slam dunk deal of the year.
How much
Visit
is this in
MississaugaHyundai.com
UK?
and
I didn't look at that
RexdaleHyundai.ca
yet.
for
Hold on.
details.
Sale ends on Halloween.
Who needs money from it? What do you do to make money off
Toronto's
this?
most exclusive
What do you
new
invest
community sets the stage for incredible experiences. A unique mix of shops, restaurants, fresh food markets, workspaces, and residences. Located on Wellington, this luxury boutique condo rises 14
That means
stories
small as
and
fuck.
overlooks a new grand promenade
expensive.
below. Tridell's signature series is destined to become the ultimate
Luxury means so
exclusivity in Key
expensive.
West.
Don't complain that boutique means small as
Built
fuck.
for life.
You don't complain. You buy it before you ever see it, before it's ever built.
680 News. Clear and 12 degrees in downtown Toronto. Good evening from the 680 News broadcast. I'm Scott Burnett.
And I'm Caitlin Wade. Here are the top stories this hour.
The Hamilton School Board discussing the creation of an anti-bullying panel, hoping to prevent the same violence that claimed the life of Devin Bracky Selby, the 14-year-old.
You bring some of these experts on your damn radio show and let them
73-year-old
talk.
man had life-threatening injuries after being struck by a vehicle at Huron, Ontario and Eglinton into Mississauga tonight. Eglinton now closed from Huron, Ontario to Sorrento for this investigation. And after the longest vacation break in 25 years, MPPs back in their seats at Queen's Park today. The Conservatives calling for an end to bipartisan bickering, while Liberals say that's not possible with the current direction the government is
All the
heading in.
news points to
Coming up
that.
after
That doesn't
sports,
work.
some countries stepping up their security following the death of the leader of ISIS over the weekend, while Canada has opted not to change its threat level. Now, 680 Sports brought to you by Napoleon from Sportsnet 590 The Fan. Here's Rob Long.
What's got happening now? The Raptors and Magics meeting for the first time since their playoff series last year.
Van Vliet off the feed from Gasol, got under the 10, kicks out to Anunoby, to Siakam, back to OG, back to Pascal, north side three, straight away, busted.
That's great ball movement between both of them. And what I loved was the decision-making of Anunoby. Didn't take the shot under duress, moved the ball, and found an open Siakam.
There's Eric Smith and Paul Jones with the call on Sportsnet 590 The Fan, and the Raptors leading at 36-27 right now. It is Pascal Siakam with a team-high 11 points for the Raptors in this one, as OG Anunoby and Kyle Lowry each have 6, and the Raptors just scoring again. So 38-27 is the lead with 8 minutes to go in the first half. You can watch the game as well on Sportsnet. Good news from Leaf Land. Travis Dermott expected to return tomorrow when the Maple Leafs host the Capitals. The defenseman has been out after off-season shoulder surgery. In St. Louis, the Blues got some bad news. Forward Vladimir Tarasenko will be reevaluated in 5 months as he is set to undergo shoulder surgery as well. And the NFL's Monday Nighter has the 2-4 Steelers home to the 0-6 Dolphins. They are just underway and scoreless in the opening quarter. Sports at 15 and 45 past every hour or anytime on the home of Tim and Sid, now on radio and TV. Sportsnet 590 The Fan. 680 News Time, 8:17.
Do me a favor and turn the Napoleon on.
Fireplace?
No.
Barbecue?
No, the Napoleon furnace. It's so cold, the dog is wearing the cat.
Wait, Napoleon makes furnaces?
Yep, and they're made in the snow belt, right up there in Barrie. Built for Canadian winters and to the same high standards as their barbecues.
So you have a Napoleon for every season?
Yep, the ultimate Canadian home.
Trust Napoleon to keep your home warm in the winter and cool in the summer. And for a limited time, play Spin to Win for a chance to win your furnace. Check it out at NapoleonHeating.com.
Questions about your furnace? Call on Reliance Home Comfort. Daniel asks, will closing vents in some rooms help save on energy costs? Actually, this could make your system work harder and increase costs. If you're spending a lot to heat your home, replacing your furnace might be the best option. Right now, get our featured furnace and pay no interest for 24 months. Plus, you'll get a free Google Home Hub. And ask about our next day or we pay $500 installation guarantee when you need help fast. Conditions apply. Financing OAC. See website for details.
Ottawa showing no signs of changing Canada's national threat level from its current classification of medium, despite fear ISIS might retaliate for the death of its leader. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau hailing Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi's death in Syria, saying Canada will continue to work with its partners and allies to ensure the group stays defeated. Baghdadi reportedly killed himself and 3 of his children during a U.S. raid. Egypt and the Philippines among those countries that have stepped up security in the wake of his death. Young people staging a demonstration on the floor of the House of Commons this morning to call on the new minority parliament to take action to address the climate crisis. Here's 680's Parliament Hill reporter Cormac McSweeney.
Calling for a Green New Deal, the demonstrators staged their sit-in on the floor of the House of Commons while on a parliamentary tour. It lasted no more than 20 minutes before the protesters were arrested, but after being released, they continued the demonstration outside. Simran is one of those calling for Canada to immediately shift away from fossil fuels towards a green economy, and tells me why she felt compelled to take part in this kind of action.
When we are in a time of crisis, acts of nonviolent civil disobedience are absolutely necessary, and we really need our political leaders to heed our calls as the young generation that's going to inherit their mistakes.
While the new parliament isn't sitting yet, it seems this message is being heard. Both the NDP leader and the Office of the Environment Minister say they're committed to ambitious action on climate change. Cormac McSweeney, Parliament Hill.
Coming up in 60 seconds, traffic and weather together on the ones.
680 News Time, 8:20. Have you noticed your bank has made it almost impossible for you to get further funds? I mean, it was okay last year, and yet this year it seems like the taps are turned off. So, if you've got your mind on something and just need the money to get it done, you can beat the bank. If you own your own home, you're already successful. And shouldn't that be enough? It is at Capital Direct. Call Capital Direct at 1-800-NEW-CAPITAL and get access to your money.
2 more minutes to get on
.ca.
We're 2 men and a truck. And we've got lots of men and lots of trucks. Whether you're planning a move to a new home or to a new office down the hall, big or small, we move them all. We even sell packing and moving supplies. But no matter what you need, we'll do it with a smile. With a 96% referral rating and the professionalism you can trust, the choice is simple. So when you're planning your next move, call 2 men and a truck. 2 men and a truck, the movers who care.
680 News Time, 8:21.
Time for traffic and weather together on the ones checking your drive. Kyle Hucking.
And this report brought to you by Monte Carlo Winds. It's pretty quiet on the highways right now. We've got a couple of construction-related delays and some leftover volume, and that's pretty well it. Eastbound 401, this is the leftover volume. It's busy from Yonge in the Express and approaching Bayview in the Collectors over to Leslie. Also from Warden to Kennedy in the Collectors, but that'll do it for the eastbound 401. It's improving to the point where I would guess in the next 10 or 15 minutes it'll be up to speed. Westbound 401, not bad across the city. Only one spot of construction through McCowan in the Collectors. Left lane is just in the process of being blocked off, but no delays through there or anywhere else on the West 401. You're up to speed on both sides of the east and westbound Gardner, and on the Don Valley Parkway north and southbound as well. The 2 construction spots causing minor delays are both on the QEW. Toronto-bound QEW over the Burlington Skyway. It's a bit slow there because 2 left lanes are blocked for construction. And then more construction from east of Dixie to the 427. The left lane is blocked, so as you enter that construction zone, it's a bit slow as well. We have a closure in Mississauga of Eglinton in both directions between Huron, Ontario, east over to Sorrento. That's for a collision investigation. With locations throughout southern Ontario, the Monte Carlo Winds are your home away from home and your office away from the office. Book today at montecarlowinds.com. Your next report at 8:31, and with the forecast, here's Natasha Ramsahai.
We're going to stay dry tonight, mainly clear skies. Could see some fog patches, though, early tomorrow morning as those winds become calm. We'll wake up to 8 degrees, and then we'll have some good sun through the middle of the day before we cloud back over in the afternoon. It's another mild day, warmer than today at 19 degrees. There's a slight chance of some late-day showers, and then Wednesday morning, we're going to start off overcast. I think we'll be dry through the morning. Rain returns late afternoon and into the evening with a high of 11 degrees, and once that rain gets here, it's going to last Wednesday night right through at least the first 2/3 of Thursday, and still some lingering showers through trick-or-treat time. The high on Thursday, 10 degrees. Trick-or-treat temperature, 7 degrees. Overnight tonight, we're down to a low of 8 degrees. Right now, you're downtown Toronto, 12 degrees and clear in Mississauga. Pearson Airport, also 12 degrees.
Coming up at 8:30, a Hamilton school board wants to create an anti-bullying panel following the stabbing death of 14-year-old Devin Brachy-Selby in front of his own school earlier this month. In the meantime, a stretch of Eglinton is now closed from here, Ontario to Sorrento and Mississauga after a man in his 70s was struck by a vehicle. We'll have the latest on these stories and much more straight ahead.
680 News Time, 8:23.
Hi, I'm Jeannie Becker. For over 50 years, Georgian Renovations has been designing spaces you'll love. Jean Navid, the company's president, wants me to pass on a special offer to you. Jean wants people to rethink their home renovation. Georgian's fixed price guarantee reinvents how people renovate. For a limited time, Georgian Renovations is offering their interior design services for the incredible value of $5,000. Great reasons to rethink your renovation. Book a complimentary design consultation today at GeorgianReno.com.
Now you can listen to 680 News on your Sonos smart speaker, Amazon Echo, or any Google Chromecast enabled device.
So like Google
Home with the free Radio Player Canada app.
Tune in using Radio Player on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Radio Player Canada. It's where Canadian radio plays.
This new segment brought to you by Harvey Brooker Weight Loss for Men. Toronto Mayor John Tory, along with those on hand to announce a revitalization of 2 Toronto community housing buildings on Queen East near Coxwell. Tory says the site will go from 120 community housing units to 750 brand new units that include affordable housing and condos for sale.
And so this is truly an example of what we can do. It is a remarkable effort, and it is one worth celebrating.
The site will also introduce new retail space. Construction expected to start next year. Scheduled to be done by the year 2023. Coming up in 60 seconds, we'll check in with Carl Garnish at the Business Center.
680 News Time, 8:25.
If I waited for change to happen, I wouldn't be where I am today. I'm Michael Yaniff, a 37-year-old teacher, and thanks to the Harvey Brooker team, I lost the 160 pounds that were killing me. If you're thinking, I'll do something tomorrow, stop kidding yourself. Make the call today. Harvey Brooker Weight Loss for Men. No pills, no starvation. It's the #1 men's weight loss program in the GTA. Call 416-222-9887, harveybrooker.com. Remember, if you could do it alone, you would have done it already.
At FAF, buying a vehicle is easy. You always get our best price first from our sales reps, meaning no fees and a negotiation-free experience. That's it? What about the fine print? That is the fine print. FAF keeps things simple. Really? But we still have time to fill. So, how was your drive in? Great, actually. No traffic for once. Learn more about how FAF makes buying a car easier at FAFauto.com. FAF, for the love of the road.
680 News Time, 8:26.
From the Business Report, here is Carl Garnish.
Despite reporting its first quarterly profit in the company's history, shares of Beyond Meat fell more than 6% in the extended session, even as the alternative meat maker increased its annual revenue forecast for the second consecutive quarter. Kim Parley is a vice president at TD Wealth. And Kim, you say there's something we need to keep in mind here.
We are hearing tomorrow the lockup of shares. That is, a lot of people, company insiders who own the shares will be able to sell their shares. So I think there's a bit of nervousness around that. We're going to see a little more when the company starts trading tomorrow.
As well as shares of Google parent Alphabet dropping more than 2% after hours as the tech giant's third quarter earnings missed analyst estimates. Ahead of earnings, the stock did hit an all-time high today of $1,299.24. WestJet Airlines reporting third quarter earnings per share and revenue that beat analyst estimates. WestJet at the close on Bay down a cent at $30.60. Aimia reporting third quarter earnings per share from continuing operations of 11 cents, beating estimates of 7 cents according to Bloomberg data. Aimia at the close on Bay falling 1.9%, $3.51. A winning day for Wall Street with a record closing high for the S&P, fueled by earnings and U.S.-China trade optimism. Dow higher by 132 points. A 4-day rally for the S&P and NASDAQ, S&P adding 16 points, the NASDAQ gaining 1% or 82 points. It's just a few points from its own record closing high. As for Bay Street, TSX fell 16 points to 16,387, lower for the first time in 3 days. Shares of the parent company of Tim Hortons, Burger King, and Popeyes in focus after releasing third quarter results. Restaurant Brands International reporting strong performances from Burger King and Popeyes. However, they were not enough to offset a disappointing quarter for Tim Hortons, which weighed on sales. The stock had to close on Bay, losing 3.6%, $86.03. Gold and oil added to the losses. Gold losing $9.50, finishing at $1,495, lower for the first time in 4 days. Oil ending a 4-day rally, sinking 1.5%, closing at $55.81 a barrel.
Canadian dollar higher by 1/100 of a cent, finishing at 76.60 cents US. At the Business Center, I'm Carl Garnash.
Hi, I'm Jazz Berard, president of Entropy.com. A quick message to all presidents and CEOs. If your procurement or marketing department isn't calling Entropy for a quote on uniforms and custom apparel projects, you are paying too much. With all work done in-house, 5-day turnaround, and no contracts, on an apples versus apples comparison, there is no one that can beat Entropy on speed, quality, and price. Keep your vendors honest. Visit us at entripy.com.
What's the best thing about Sunwing's Epic Sale? Saving epic amounts on winter vacation packages or saving epic amounts on Mazet Lawn vacation packages? It's both. Vacation better at top-rated resorts with Sunwing's award-winning service. Get an epic move on and don't miss epic savings to Mazet Lawn, Colonial City on the beach in Mexico. Book now with your travel agent or at Sunwing.ca.
It's time for the 680 News Business Travelers Forecast, brought to you by Park and Fly. Start and end your trip at Park and Fly Valet, the quickest way to park by the airport. Join Park and Fly's rewards program, where you can turn your paid parking into free parking. Visit parkandfly.ca for details.
Chicago, partly cloudy tomorrow, 4 degrees for the high. In Orlando, Florida, partly cloudy at 27. Washington, D.C., overcast and 16 degrees. New York City, overcast 16 as well. Boston, overcast and 13. And if you're headed to Montreal tomorrow, mostly cloudy, 14 degrees. This is CFTR 680 News. Hey, it's 8:30.
News in Toronto. Good evening. It's Monday, October 28th.
Here's what's making news this hour.
A 73-year-old man has died after he was struck by a vehicle in Mississauga.
Looking to crack down on bullying, a Hamilton school board announces a new panel, but anti-bullying advocates are calling for someone to be held accountable after the death of a bullied teen earlier this month.
After a 144-day break, MPPs returning to Queen's Park, promising a shift in tone.
For air quality from California wildfires cancels a big Hollywood premiere.
Midway through the second quarter, it's the Raptors leading the Magic 42-34 at Scotiabank Arena, as the Dolphins have the early lead against the Steelers in the Monday Nighters. Sports at 45. Google's parent company is out with earnings as it considers buying a wearable tech maker. A record closing high for the S&P, with the Dow up by 132 points, TSX down by 16. Business at 56.
Time 8:31.
Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here is Kyle Hawking.
This report brought to you by PrudentFinancial.net. We're so close I can taste it on the eastbound 401. The volume easing off quickly, but still seeing delays from about Bayview to Leslie, both express and collector lanes, although it does look heavier in the express, at least to start with. If you're traveling through there, maybe the collector's your better option, just traveling through that one short stretch of delays. Everything's east off beyond that point into Scarborough, nothing in Durham region or anywhere else on the eastbound 401. Westbound 401, construction in a couple spots has been set up, nothing impacting the speeds, though. It's up to speed on the West 401 all the way across the city. We have a ramp closure on the 407 westbound. In fact, ramp closures on both sides of the 407. Starting with the westbound 407, though, the ramp to Bathurst is closed, and the northbound Bathurst ramp to the west 407 shut down. Similar on the eastbound 407, no access from northbound Bathurst to the eastbound 407. That ramp is closed. We've only got one other delay to speak of. It's Toronto-bound QEW over the Burlington Skyway, where 2 left lanes are blocked for construction, so it's a bit slow through there. Had also a delay on the east QEW through Dixie because of maintenance. Maintenance is still there. The delay is not. It's gone already, and that does it for really any other issues worth mentioning on our highways. It's a fairly smooth drive right now. In town in Mississauga, Eglinton is closed from Huron, Ontario to Sorrento. That's for a collision investigation. Expect that to be in place for several hours. Have an emergency, need last-minute money, lower credit score? Use the equity in your home or car to get a great rate on a same-day loan. Go to PrudentFinancial.net. Your next report at 8:41, and with the forecast, here's Natasha Ramsahai.
Clear tonight, fog patches in the morning as we wake up to 8 degrees, and then throughout the afternoon will be partly cloudy, a little thicker cloud through the afternoon with a very mild high of 19 degrees. Best chance for some late afternoon showers will be north of Highway 7. Overnight tonight, we're down to a low of 8 degrees.
A clear sky right now in downtown Toronto, sitting at 12 degrees. 680 News Time, 8:33.
Breaking news from Mississauga, where a 73-year-old man has died died after he was struck by a vehicle. It happened around 7 o'clock this evening at Eglinton and Huron, Ontario.
Peel police say the driver did remain at the scene. Eglinton, though, now closed from Huron, Ontario to Sorrento for this investigation. Stay with 680 News for more on this developing story.
And it has been a deadly day on city streets. 2 other pedestrians hit and killed in 2 separate crashes. 680's Mama Qureshi joins us from one scene near St. Clair and Runnymede with more.
There are no stoplights or crosswalk at this point on the street, where 2 women were struck by a van as it tried to make a left onto St. Clair, just west of Runnymede. Unfortunately, an 82-year-old woman died of her injuries. Omar was walking by just minutes after it happened.
They were doing like a CPR on the lady already, and she was like unresponsive, right? They just rushed her to the hospital right away.
What goes through your head when you see something like that? I mean, that's not an easy thing to see.
Oh man, it's traumatic. It's not a good scene, you know?
A woman in her 60s is in hospital with serious injuries. The driver of the van did remain on scene. This happened just a few hours after a man in his 70s was struck and killed at Don Mills and Eglinton. I'm Moma Qureshi.
A Hamilton school board moving forward with an anti-bullying panel following the murder of a 14-year-old boy earlier this month. Devin Brocky Selby stabbed to death following weeks of alleged torment by his classmates. 680's Casey Taylor joins us live with how officials plan to prevent further